tonight on the Black Channel. Before I get started tonight, I just want to give a word of warning to everyone. I'm currently on the road right now, and the internet connection has been hella janky. It's almost guaranteed that it's going to be intermittent tonight, so you're being warned up front. It usually only lasts for a little bit, but the connection they have here is not great. Already called about it, and there's nothing they can do apparently, and then you find out folks got pets in the building, so it's just, okay, I struck out all the way around on this one, but we're going to do the best we can here tonight, so just stick with us here. Because we do have some important things to address, and we need to address here the elephant, or should I say the donkeys in the room. Now, the white supremacists in government and in media, in their pathetic attempt to elevate white supremacist podcaster Charlie Kirk to the level of some political icon, because we have real heroes. We have real heroes who really changed the world. They were honorable men that people can quote up and down for hours and hours. They don't actually have any heroes. So this was the best they could do, and it's pathetic. So as it stands here, what these folks have is they had a resolution to honor the life of Charlie Kirk. No, I'm not joking. Now, we're going to honor Charlie Kirk. And I wanted to go over this because, of course, these are unscrupulous, reprehensible white supremacists. Of course they are. That's what you expect from them. But then you go take a look at your so-called friends in the Democrat Party here. And what do you find out? You find out that these were the people in the Congressional Black Caucus who voted for the resolution to honor Charlie Kirk. Now, in reality, I read an article that said that there were 5 members, but I want to walk you through this for a moment, because they said I read an article from Politico that said 5 members. But before I take you through that, I want to examine the old dead black media first. This is Black Enterprise Magazine. And you can read their article, and they talk about Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Congressional Black Caucus and Democrats oppose Charlie Kirk resolution. That's the headline. Congressional Black Caucus and Democrats oppose Charlie Kirk resolution. They then immediately go below that and talk about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who is not a member of the Congressional Black Caucus. So you see this headline, which is absolutely diabolically dishonest, because they're showing the guy who voted for it. Hakeem Jeffries, your leader in the House of the Democrats, who voted for it, while saying that the Congressional Black Caucus opposed it. Well, yeah, everybody except this guy here, everybody except him. So this is outrageously dishonest, and that's why they're the old dead black media. It says, in the aftermath of the killing of white nationalist Charlie Kirk, well, at least they got that part right, the House Republicans, led by House Speaker Mike Johnson of Louisiana, put forth a 5-page resolution co-sponsored by 165 of his colleagues. The resolution praised Kirk as a courageous American patriot who wanted to elevate truth, foster understanding, and strengthen the republic, which is what they say about all Confederates and white supremacists. According to The Guardian, the House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, now you see what they said here? Well, according to The Guardian, Hakeem Jeffries informed Democrats in a closed-door meeting that leadership would vote in favor of the resolution. That leadership, they're talking about the Democrats, would vote in favor of the resolution. But the vote as it regards other members was left up to individual members. In the vote, 95 Democrats, including Representative Jeffries, ultimately voted along with the Republicans. They talk about Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez because they can't talk about any of the black representatives. So they have to talk about her standing up against it because they couldn't talk about the black ones, really. Couldn't really do that. They didn't really go hard body like that. Well, that's the one thing you read right there. So that's for Black Enterprise Magazine. You go over to The Advocate. 95 Democrats vote to honor far-right activist Charlie Kirk in House resolution. He was not far-right, he was alt-right. They joined 215 Republicans in doing so. And then they go down the list over here. But they're not really telling you very much. You'll notice what they say here again. I'm going to go over these numbers for you here right quick. 95 Democrats joined 215 Republicans Friday to adopt the resolution honoring Kirk. 58 Democrats opposed the resolution while 38 voted present and 22 did not vote. 4 Republicans did not vote. And then they say this here again. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries told his fellow Democrats in the closed-door meeting Thursday that leaders would support the resolution, but others were free to vote as they please. Some Democrats said they feared violence if they opposed it, Axios reports, or at least that a no vote would be used against them. People, understand something. Your political leaders are supposed to be your representatives. And as a requirement, as a requisite of being your representative, there is no excuse for them saying, I was afraid to represent you. Well, yes, I know what it is you wanted me to vote for, but you see, I couldn't do that because I was afraid. People, if that's your representative that you have voted for and gone to elect, and then he tells you, yes, I know what you want me to vote for, but I was afraid to vote for you, so I voted differently because I was scared. That's your representative? It is inexcusable and completely unforgivable for someone to tell you that they want to be your representative and then they tell you, I'll represent you as far long as I'm not scared to do so. They are supposed to represent you all the way to the grave. That is their job. That is their duty. It is the only reason that you made them your representative, to execute your will. That's the point. And they're telling you that they're afraid, so that's their rationale for not representing you. Oh, well, I was afraid. You do not allow that to be a sentence that gets to be used. That's not a statement that gets to be used. If you are afraid, you stay home and vote with everybody else. But do not say that you wish to be our representative, and then once you get there, well, I don't have to represent you because I'm looking out for me. I've told you all for decades that government is not an organism that looks out for the people. Government is an organism that looks out for itself. Government has not been an organism that defends the people. Government has been an organism that defends itself. And they're showing you right here in no uncertain terms, their priority is not defending you. Their priority is defending themselves. So that's what their priority is, defending self, not you. But as you can see here, once again, it doesn't really give you the information that you really need here. It really doesn't. It says there were LGBTQ members who voted yes. Robert Garcia and Richard Torres did not vote at all. Jamie Raskin voted yes. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was against it, but you see, this doesn't tell us what we need to know. We need to know who the traitors and turncoats are where you live, who claim they were going to represent you, and they don't. So then that brings me over to Politico. And Politico came closest of everybody, but still didn't tell us what we need to know. It talks about it here. More than 90 Democrats supported it. And they go on here to say 42 members of the Congressional Black Caucus voted against the resolution. And everybody starts off by telling you, Democrats, Congressional Black Caucus was against it. Everybody starts off that way, which lets you all know that this was a coordinated response by the media to run interference and protection for the Congressional Black Caucus. This is what lets you know when you see this same thing repeated the same way from all of them, even though you all now have the facts, this lets you know that they're all working in an organized, coordinated fashion to deceive the public. So they started off by saying the Congressional Black Caucus voted against it. According to a political analysis of Friday morning's roll call vote, making up 72% of the 58 Democrats who opposed the measure. 5 members of the caucus voted yes on the resolution, including House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. Another 4 members of the caucus voted present, and 4 members didn't vote at all. But do you notice they don't name who it was? They didn't name who it was. They just told you, 5 of the members of the Congressional Black Caucus voted for it. This is after Black Enterprise and other outlets. They won't tell you who it is, people. They won't tell you who it is who voted for it. So I painstakingly went through the process of going over the roll call and comparing it to the members of the Congressional Black Caucus. And these are 4 of them. These are the only 4 that I was able to confirm. And if you live in these areas, you're about to find out. Starting from the left is from New York, Hakeem Jeffries. The next person from New York, Gregory Meeks. The next person is Donald Davis from North Carolina. And then last there, looking like Eddie Murphy, dressed up as one of his uncles from Eddie Murphy, Raw, is David Scott of Georgia. And nobody said these things. You can go up and down Twitter and whatnot, and unless you know the specific names to look for, but nobody really listed them. I will be listing them on my Twitter here before tonight's program is completely done. Yeah, it looks like, Eddie Murphy when he gets dressed up and stuff like that, yes. And the problem is Eddie was funny. This nigga ain't.
And deal with it, nigga.
That's the problem. Eddie was funny. This dude ain't. So, Hakeem Jeffries, because Obama wasn't light-skinned enough. From New York, and then once again, New York, y'all, it's New York, they taking an L this week in New York. New York is taking an L this week. Hakeem Jeffries, Gregory Meeks, Donald Davis, David Scott, in that order. These are the coons who voted to support that. Tell me why. These are people from safe blue districts. What's the benefit of them supporting a white supremacist Charlie Kirk? What's the point of that? What's the benefit that they receive from that? What is it? What is it? In the chat room tonight, I see there are some folks in here who have some disputing statements. I'm very glad to hear that. As always, I am very glad to hear that. So, in the interest of making sure that you are heard and seen, because we wouldn't want anybody out here to think that you are not going to be, we're going to go ahead and throw the link to the Zoom up here. So to my mods, the folk that y'all been calling out, let's go ahead and get them front and center. Let's go ahead and get them front and center. So they don't have to say it in the chat room anymore. Now they can say it to me, and they can say it to all of us. There's the link to the Zoom. There is the link to the Zoom for the chat room there. Let's go ahead and pin that to the top of the chat. And for those folks in there who've had some interesting statements to make, let's go ahead and get them on up here. Sit back, smile, and dial. And you can go ahead and click on that. And we can go ahead and get you to appraise us all and inform us all of everything that we apparently don't understand. They can go ahead and let us all know exactly what it is we allegedly don't understand. And remember, if you do not defend your statements, you've automatically defeated it. The reason why Charlie Kirk is getting lambasted and nobody can make him honorable is because nobody is willing to stand up for him. They won't even repeat his words. As a matter of fact, they'll try to punish you if you do try to. So just remember, if you don't defend your statements, you've automatically debunked it yourself. Just remember that. Now, what I want to do here is, we talked about the Congressional Black Caucus members, and Politico said there were 5. I wasn't able to identify who the 5th one was. I was not able to define or was able to properly make sure that I defined who the 5th one was. So there may be another renegade running around out there. There may be another renegade running around out there. It's not like Politico listed them all so we would know who they were. Politico certainly didn't do that. Although it would have been helpful. So in any case here, I'm going to do the work that the dead black media and the white corporate media will not do. I am going to show you all the list of the Democrats who voted in favor. Now, on this chart here, the big area here at the top, these are all the yays, not the rapper, but all the people who voted yes. So what we're going to do is I'm going to zoom in, and we are going to go ahead and walk the line and see the folks who voted yes. Now, I'm going to say one thing before I get started. When we go over the yays, I see a whole bunch of names from California, and I see a whole bunch of Latino surnames. What? I see a whole bunch of names from California, but in particular, when you go down this entire list, even outside of California, I see a whole bunch of Latino surnames. For those of you who don't know, that means last names, family names. I see a whole bunch of Latino surnames. Just thought I'd go ahead and point that out. Just figured I'd point it out. So let's go ahead and walk the line. Let's go ahead and walk the line here. I'll try to make this a little bit bigger if I can. I know it's going to give you all a little bit of eye strain tonight, but we're going to try to make this a little bit bigger if we can. All right, going down the list here. Looks like California, Pete Aguilar. Arizona, Yasmin Ansari. Jake Achenschloss. Okay. Rebecca Ballant. So the Northeast is represented here. So glad the Northeast is represented already now. Glad we got that in there. Amy Barra. Brendan Boyle, Pennsylvania. Nikki Budzinski. So if you thought Illinois would be spared, you were wrong. Ed Case, because we wouldn't want to leave Hawaii out of anything. Wouldn't want to leave them out. Judy Chu, oh boy. Well, there goes your minority coalition. Folks, this is not for this is legislation asking who supports the white supremacist. This was a resolution that was a litmus test for who supports the white supremacist. We want to hold a resolution honoring a white supremacist. That was all this was. And this is a litmus test for who actually supports it. and you're seeing Latino, East Indian, Asian, okay, using Latino, Asian, East Indian, you notice that's what you're seeing here. On legislation just for who supports the white supremacists. This is not money. This is not some cultural issue that people got a lot of divide over. This is, hey, which one of y'all is cool with the white supremacist in the room? That's all this is. Back to California, Gilbert Cisneros. Back up northeast, Catherine Clark. California, Lou Correa. Jim Costa. Joe Courtney, Connecticut. Angie Craig, Minnesota. Jason Crow, Colorado. Henry Cuellar, Texas. So just in case you thought they were done. Sharice Davids, Kansas. So Midwest represented. Don Davis, North Carolina. We've already pointed him out. He's the third from the left or second from the right. So, yeah. And by the way, you all can look into their backgrounds if you choose to. Madeline Dean, Rosa DeLauro, Susan Delbene, Christopher Deluzio, Debbie Dingle. Oh boy. Michigan, Debbie Dingle. Well, just in case you thought that the Dingles were honorable people there, Debbie Dingle. All right. Sarah Elfreth, Lizzie Fletcher, Bill Foster, Laura Gillen, Jared Golden, Vicente Gonzalez. Because we wouldn't want to leave anybody out there now, would we? So, vote when they talk about the Democrats who fled Texas and left Texas, and they left Texas because Governor Greg Abbott wanted to redraw district lines. And then you find out they were not looking out for you. They were just looking out for themselves. They're not looking out for you. They are looking out for themselves. Josh Gottmeyer, New Jersey. Adam Gray, California. Your liberal bastions, people, your liberal. These are supposed to be your liberal bastions and strongholds, aren't they? Aren't these supposed to be your liberal bastions and strongholds here, people? There are no, allegedly there were no unreformed Confederates, no white supremacists. You know, the politics of the Deep South that they always tell you is the reason that people keep supporting white supremacy and racism. Remember? They told you that was a Southern issue, and they told you in these other places, we're elevated and enlightened beyond that. And yet, when it came time for them to go on the record for these votes, well, what do you know? Your so-called Northeastern liberals and Midwestern liberals and West Coast liberals and New York liberals, and they're sitting there stomping for white supremacy along with the rest of them. Kind of interesting how that happened, isn't it? Because they would tell you that that's not a real thing. Remember? Okay. So we got Adam Gray, Josh Harder, Cry Harder, James Himes, Chrissy Houlihan, Hot Lips Houlihan. All right. Steny Hoyer. Talk about the House leadership. Talk about longtime members. Steny Hoyer, people. And he's not going to be the last senior person. Been there for decades. He's going to want you to go and roll whatever he says. By the way, he went on the record. Steny Hoyer. Jared Huffman. Hakeem Jeffries, New York. Your House leadership on the record. Tell me what the benefit is they're supposed to have. Tell me what that is. What is the benefit? Who are they looking to get support from? Because the white supremacists and unreformed Confederates are allegedly not their constituency. These are states where that's not even an issue. These are deep blue states. And yet, what are these people in these, I'm talking about ocean deep blue states, supporting this for. They're letting you know whose side they're really on, and it's not yours. Marcy Kaptur, Ohio. William Keating, Greg Landsman, Rick Larson, Washington. Oh, your Washington State people, your white liberals in your Washington states, your Northwestern liberals, but yeah, they can all agree on white supremacy now, can't they? Doesn't matter where they come from geographically, yeah, they all agree on white supremacy. Oh, okay. All right, just wanted to make sure we all understood what the lines were there. All right. So Rick Larson and John Larson. So they got that. Next up here, Susie Lee from Nevada. Mike Levin of California. It's not a joke, folks. Not a joke. Sam Liccardo, Ted Lieu. Y'all see how many folks from California here? You think California is a Democrat stronghold in the sense that, oh, they love black folk? Do you see how strong California has come out to support Charlie Kirk? Do you see how strong California has come out to support Charlie Kirk, and then they bring you a Kamala Harris, and you think that she stumbled and stuttered when she said you expect me to do something just for black people? You thought she just misstated that, Jason? Oh, that was just poorly worded. You think that was poorly worded? Do you see how strong the representation from California is on this list honoring Charlie Kirk? Do you see how many CAs you see on here? Y'all better wake up about what these people are really on and how quickly California can flip back to Reagan land. Ted Lieu, Zoe Lofgren, Stephen Lynch, properly named here, Seth Magaziner, John Mannion, Sarah McBride, April McLean Delaney, Betty McCollum, Kristen McDonald Rivet, Morgan McGarvey, James McGovern, Gregory Meeks. We already covered that. Gregory Meeks. In case you all missed it there earlier, there he is, second from the left. So Hakeem Jeffries on the left, and then his other buddy from New York, Gregory Meeks, right next to him. So between California and New York, we can't catch a break. Man, y'all, if these are our good liberal Northeastern blue state friends, oh, I'd hate to see our enemies. Remember, these are so-called, quote, friends, remember? These are our friends. Who are they trying to make nice with? Voting like this. Somebody tell me, who is it they're trying to make nice with? Voting like this. Dave Min, Joseph Morrell, Kelly Morrison, Jared Moskowitz. Let's go ahead and move this on up. Oh, yes, I'm going to go over every one of these. So whether you're watching it or whether you're just listening while you're watching the dishes, for those of you who are visually impaired, I'm doing this, so it doesn't matter who you are. I'm going down the list because I need to inform the public, because these other people are not doing this. And they're just going off and telling you they'll name one or two people in here when there's literally dozens and dozens of them. So whether or not you are visually impaired, whether or not you're actively watching it, whether or not you're listening, I'm going to read through every single one of these people who voted yes, so that when you hear your congressperson's name, you're like, oh, I'll be damned. You'll have no excuse for not knowing it, because I'm letting you know who it was who did this. Frank Mervin, Indiana. Gerald Nadler, New York. People between New York and California, they all looking like Alabama and Louisiana right now, ain't they? New York and California sure is voting like Alabama and Louisiana, aren't they? Or some jackass going to try to say that's a reach. Okay. Well, it's reaching to the Confederate flag so far as I can see. Richard Neal, John Olszewski, Frank Pallone, Jimmy Panetta, Chris Pappas. Oh, Chris Pappas. All right, folks. You're Northeastern liberals. Okay. Oh, Marie Glusenkamp Perez, Washington State. Boy, I'm telling you, Washington State, but you're Northeastern liberals, you're Northwestern liberals, but they're all on the side of white supremacy, man. Scott Peters, California. Nellie Powell, New Jersey. Jamie Raskin of Maryland. Jamie Raskin of Maryland. Now, Jamie Raskin has been dealing with cancer. And certainly when people are dealing with mortality, I can understand how they have a certain view on things. But let's also be clear, Jamie, I can't co-sign this. And Jamie's going to have to hold this one, and we will not forget. Jamie going to have to hold this one. Josh Riley of New York. Luz Rivas of California. So New York and California, folks. I'm giving you the business. Is it all accidental? Deborah Ross, North Carolina. Pat Ryan, New York. Billy Schneider. Hillary Schulten. Kim Schreier. David Scott. Okay, we already confirmed David Scott over there, the Eddie Murphy lookalike on the right. We already confirmed him. So, yeah. Mickey Sherrill. Okay, let me slide this up a little bit more for you all, because the one I'm reading for is a little bit different. Adam Smith. Eric Sorensen. Darren Soto of Florida. Greg Stanton of Arizona. Let's go back up here again. All right, we're coming near the end of the list now here. Coming up on the end of the list. And who do we have? Oh, it gets more shameful. Haley Stevens. Tommy Susie. Mark Takano. New York, Susie. California, Takano. Dina Titus. Lori Trahan. All right. You Northeastern liberals. Derek Tran, California. Juan Vargas, California. Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Longtime Florida liberals, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and there she is. As, quote, liberal as she wishes to be, as Jewish as she wishes to be. Right, Jamie Raskin, as liberal as they wish to be. Ms. Wasserman Schultz, as Jewish as they wish to be. And yet, you're seeing a bunch of names from people who claim that they down with the struggle, and yet here we are. George Whitesides, again, of California. So do you all understand this is damn near a clean sweep of California? California rose up to vote in favor of white supremacy, of honoring white supremacy. California was super strong represented on this list. Super strong. California and New York, strong representation on this list. Strong. That's not a joke, and that's not a fluke. Now, I also want to go over a different list here. I want to go over the list of those who either voted present or didn't vote at all and abstained from voting. I want to go over that one. So let me go ahead and jump down here so you all can see this. For those who voted present, no Republicans did, but some Democrats did. And I'm going over this for a reason. They could have voted no, but they didn't. That's my point. They could have voted no. These are folks who decided not to vote no, but to vote present. Alma Adams, Donald Byer, Suzanne Bonamici, Julia Brownlee, Janelle Bynum. All right. Salud Carabajal, Greg Cesar, Diana DeJette, Mark DeSaulnier, Maxine Dexter, Lloyd Doggett, Dwight Evans, Lois Frankel, Laurie Friedman, John Garamendi, Daniel Goldman, Maggie Goodlander, Valerie Hoyle, Sarah Jacobs, Julie Johnson, Tim Kennedy, Ro Khanna. Oh, I thought Ro Khanna was one of these hard-body liberals and whatnot. I thought he was going to be the new vanguard of principled California liberals. And yet when confronted with a unapologetic white supremacist, why, the best he could do was say present. He could not scrounge together the moral or political courage to vote the obvious and to say no. So just understand, folks, when the rubber meets the road, this is who they really are. You don't know these people. It's like when you meet your favorite Hollywood celebrity or some sports athlete, you don't know these people. You meet some actor, you don't know him. You don't know these people. But you're getting to know them. You're getting to know them. Man, it's ugly. Doris Matsui. California giving us the business, y'all. California is giving us the work, man. I mean, California is just giving it to us. They ain't easing off the gas or nothing. Jennifer McClellan, Grace Ming, Brittany Peterson, Shelley Pingree, Mark Pocon, Andrea Salinas, Linda Sanchez, Mary Scanlon, Brad Sherman, Suhas Subramaniam, Mike Thompson, Jill Naomi Takuda, Paul Tonko, Gabriel Vasquez, and James Walkinshaw. So yeah, those are the ones who voted present. Now, the list of those who did not vote. There's Nanette Barragan, Sean Caston, Kathy Castor, Joaquin Castro, Steve Cohen, Herb Conaway, Robert Garcia, Jesus Garcia, George Latimer, Teresa Fernandez, Kevin Mullen, Joe Neguse, Donald Norcross, Nancy Pelosi. Now, I seem to remember, because I was the person who reminded everybody, that Charlie Kirk was mocking the incident of the man who broke into Nancy Pelosi and Paul Pelosi's home with a hammer and attempted to murder her husband with it. And Charlie Kirk made light of it, and as we recalled, said he was hoping that some patriotic people out there would bail the attempted murderer out. Well, she's very well aware of this. And yet, she thinks so much of her husband, and it was such a terrible incident for her, that she just didn't vote at all. Why, it was such a traumatic event that she didn't vote at all. Her own husband. And this is the guy who used his platform to mock the incident. And her response was to not vote at all. Okay. All righty. Folks, is on the record. Raul Ruiz, California, folks. California just gave it to us. California just broke us down, man. California gave us the business on this one. Janice Schakowsky, Melanie Stansbury, Eric Swalwell, Norma Torres, Richie John Torres, y'all know Richie Torres in New York, never misses an opportunity to coon it up, Mark Vesey, and Eugene Vindman. So, you all just got the complete roll call of the Democrats in response to this House resolution to honor white supremacist bigot and podcaster, because he wasn't a political personality, Charlie Ku Klux Klansman Kirk. Charlie KKK Kirk. And I want to go over all those names so that whether you all are actively watching or not, maybe if you're just listening, if you heard the name of your representative in there somewhere, now you know who they were and where they voted. When you ask, by the way, who supported this mess and who was against it, now you know. You're not guessing anymore. You know exactly who it was. And I don't cry when chickens come home to roost. Matter of fact, I'm a little happy when chickens come home to roost. And for the Democrats, the chickens came home to roost once, and I got a feeling that they're pecking around the yard, and they're going to come home to roost again. I have a feeling that the chickens are going to come home to roost again, because all they've done now is remind us why we don't like them. Now, there have been some events this week, people. There have been some events this week. Some people are upset about it. Some people are angry about it. Some people are up in arms about it. And I can understand. I can understand to a certain degree. I get that. I understand that. And there are a number of folks who are not happy about the way that things have gone. Case in point, when it comes to one comedian, Jimmy Kimmel, not Fallon. He'll probably be next. But Jimmy Kimmel made a true statement about the life and times of Charlie Kirk and how the Republicans, the president of the United States, was, when he was asked about it, they said, well, what about your friend? He's like, yeah, that was real bad. You know, we're building this ballroom over here. And Jimmy Kimmel sat up here and let them know that, by the way, we saw that. And ABC, because of course they're looking to make yet another multi-billion-dollar deal, they're already driving in gigantic truckloads of cash at Disney. Disney already makes billions of dollars of mega gobs of money. And now they want to make a few more billion on top of the multi-hundred billion dollar pile of money that they're already making. So Jimmy had to go. Because of that. And now you have a bunch of people yelling and screaming about, boy, Trump is going straight after free speech now, and with the corporations helping them. To which I will say, no disrespect to Jimmy Kimmel, but as far as Trump's rampage, this is good. What? Damn! See, here's the issue. The issue here is that up until this point, the white supremacist hatred, the venom, has only been getting spat one way. And everybody else has just sat back and just, oh, well, the niggas are taking it on the chin. Oh, it just really isn't that very unfortunate. Man, it sucks to be them. But wasn't nobody raising up as a group and saying, here's what we're going to do to systemically stop it. Now, that's what always gets left out. Everybody acknowledges white supremacy. Everybody acknowledges racism. Everybody acknowledges it exists. But the car comes to a screeching halt when we ask, okay, yeah, we heard all that. What you going to do about it? And everybody tells you they don't know what to do. Well, you know what? Maybe now that the pain and the discomfort and the targeting is getting spread around to everybody else now that it's leaked outside of black circles, now that he's going out taking some whiteheads, maybe now that he's doing that, you didn't think it was necessary to jump up when he was going at us. Maybe once he takes a bunch of whiteheads, you'll all sit up here and sound the alarms and say, oh, damn, we got to jump up and do something. Because when you saw him savaging us for 30 years, nobody thought they needed to do anything. They all just sat back quietly and tacitly allowing it. No, well, well, I got my tax cuts, we have to balance things and, but I'm morally opposed to it. Okay, well, we can sit over here and be morally opposed too. So now once he starts targeting a bunch of you and your faces are on the news and you are making the headlines and you're losing the jobs and you're scared to speak and he's sitting up here breaking the Constitution and breaking the law at you for a change. Well, yeah, this is exactly what I advocated. You damn right. To anybody who says, well, Jason, when you come down to this right here. No. This is not Trump out of control. This is precisely what I was aiming for right here. Turn the fires up. Put the coals on it. Load up the timber. I want the flames to get nuclear hot. I want it to be at catastrophic levels, so that we don't have any more stupid conversations or discussions. And when we tell the dominant society, okay, this time when we tell y'all what the agenda is, you better jump. Because we will fall back and let these bastards sit up here and grab all of you. When we tell you what the agenda is, I want to see air beneath your feet and you better jump. No more of that playing dumb and acting stupid. Or we'll just sit back and let them get the rest of you. He can come and grab all of you, Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel, and next just go ahead and grab the white females who ain't on board with the program. He's already given a bunch of them the work. And so, go ahead and grab every damn body, because you see, when we stood up and talked, you played stupid with us. You played stupid with us for years and decades when we were saying these things. Y'all were playing dumb. You acted like we didn't say anything. You acted like it was a minor issue. Well, now that you're the headlines and we're like, okay, we're going to treat that like a minor issue. Richard Pryor said this decades ago. He said it during one of his historic stand-up routines decades ago. It might have been Here and Now. It might have been Richard Pryor Here and Now. His two seminal ones were Richard Pryor Live in Concert and Richard Pryor Here and Now. I want to say it was Richard Pryor Here and Now. We was talking about the drug epidemic of the 80s, and he was like, when white folks see black folk on the street doing drugs, they're like, oh, look at that right there. Isn't that terrible? Isn't that just disgusting, Mary? Take a look at this. What a disgrace. And then he said, when they went home and found their kids doing drugs, it's an epidemic. Yeah, when it was us targeted by the government with drugs, you're all disgusting. Mass incarceration, lock them all up. You're just a disgrace. When they saw their kids doing it, oh, this is a public health epidemic. This was Richard Pryor saying this back in the 80s, people. The government did not change its policy about these things until we get to the 2000s, when it's time to mass incarcerate white people. Richard Pryor talked about that in the 80s. So it was always this racist policy. But then it's what Richard said next. He said, maybe the next time you see black people in trouble, you'll get up and do something. Maybe next time when you see the government targeting black people, you won't just sit there and say, well, this will be my opportunity to practice some passive white supremacy. Maybe the next time you see us in trouble, you'll realize this thing is going to break containment and it's eventually going to spread to you and yours, and it'll probably happen sooner than you ever thought it would. You think it'll be decades and you'll be dead and gone. Nah, you're going to live to see it. And the next time that you see your government targeting us, maybe you won't try to seize upon that as an opportunity to practice white supremacy. Maybe you'll seize upon that as your opportunity to stop them in their tracks. And of course they didn't. I mean, don't be silly. Of course they didn't do it. They just saw that as an opportunity to keep the train rolling and practice some white supremacy even more and just keep going with it and whatnot. And it's like, okay, you fed the beast, you fed the monster. And I mean, at this point now, he's a gargantuan proportions now. He's outrageously huge and he's incredibly hungry. And now he's just gobbling everything in his way. But you see, eating on niggas, we're real thin, y'all. We ain't got much meat on us left. So you're not really going to satisfy your hunger by chewing on us anymore. So no. The big, fat, choice, juicy cuts. Oh, no. Those are over there in white society. That's where the real tasty, juicy meat is. The succulent, flavorful, the good stuff is over there. The good stuff is over there, and now he's loading up his plate. The beast that they fed all this time and tried to ignore because, well, don't worry, Trump is black people's problem. And really secretly, they liked it. Now he's your problem. Well, Jason, what about your freedom of speech? Nigga, we ain't got none. We don't have to pull your head out your rump, stupid. We don't have a constitution that protects us, which is the whole point we're making the whole damn time. The Constitution has never protected us, so this ain't new territory. They're gonna round everybody up, nigga. It's mass incarceration. What is that? They've been rounding us up. They've been doing that. Some jackass clowns. Well, you're gonna round us up. That just shows you how desperate they are to side with the Democrats and avoid reality. You can't name a single damn thing Trump's talking about doing that this country has not been doing to us the entire damn time. The only difference now is other people are now in danger of it happening to them. They told themselves, the white supremacists, those are black folks' problem. Oh well, sucks to be you, Negroes. White supremacy and racism, that's your problem. We don't have to stomp it out. What's in it for me? What's in it for you is the 5 steps to Nazi Germany. As we have tried to warn these ignorant, stubborn, stiff-necked people all this time, do you think that when your white supremacist brethren are done with us, do you think they're going to stop there? You think they're going to stop with us? You think you have some code of honor or camaraderie? You think they're just going to quit when they're done with us? Hell no. When they've completely subjugated us and decimated us, they're coming right after you. They're coming right after the people who are not white enough. You're not white enough, you're not on code enough, and they're going to come at you with all the viciousness and venom that they came at us with. You tell yourself it can't happen because I'm white, and you clearly have ignored all these other places it's happened in. Clearly. And they did. And now he's finished with the black folk there. It's like, okay, we're completely powerless and decimated. And a lot of these white folk who, well, I'm not white extremists or white supremacists. Okay, well, you sat there and you liked it. It's like, yeah, keeps the Negroes in line, and it keeps them from getting too uppity. Okay, now they're looking at you. Now they're sitting up here saying, well, all the vicious little detestable, diabolical, little sick, perverted things they can do to you now. That's all they're doing. They're sizing you up to see all the little wicked little things they can do to you. And this is where it's going. This is where it's going. So a lot of folks are getting their damn wake-up calls right now. Well, I'm showing these people. We want to show these people something, folks. We want to teach them a lesson. Remember, we want to teach them a lesson that all these folk trying to play dumb about reparations, play dumb about white supremacy, play dumb about compensatory justice, play dumb about reeling in the white supremacists. That this was a game you were going to play. That they were going to be your attack dogs to make sure that they set up here and solidified and secured your bag for you and secured your benefits for you. And it's like, okay, and now they're like, yeah, don't worry, we can take those benefits from you too. See, this is new territory for the dominant society. This is new, y'all. These are white people. They've never looked up and everything they had was gone. I'm talking about like that. This is new territory, man. They're used to that happening to us. They're used to somebody pushing a button or signing a piece of paper and then we lose everything. See, that's what they're used to. And they got so comfortable, they told themselves it could never happen to them. And meanwhile, they've been allowing this to go on when they should have been fighting it. Now, I'm going to take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break, but when I come back, I'm going to explain to you all in very simple, easy to understand language exactly why it is that going forward, the Democrats, the so-called left wing, the so-called middle, median, moderates, independents, why every single one of them needs to, not maybe should or really should think about it, they need to back a black agenda. If you want to punish Donald J. Trump going forward, what you do is you slam your foot on the gas to support us and our agenda. And I'm going to show you all the levels at which that's hasn't been happening, and that if they did so, it would literally accomplish all of the punitive damages that they could possibly imagine and look for simply by backing us. Simply by doing that. And if they do that, that would be a game changer that transforms everything. So we're going to go ahead and get to that here in a little bit. However, before we do, I'd like to thank everyone, and I do mean everybody, who has contributed to tonight's program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo. Shout out here to my man, Mr. Richburg. Thank you very much for your support tonight, brother. We appreciate that. To Mark B., to Najee, thank you very much for your support. My man Bruce Warren in the Super Chat. Black to Death has been giving out some memberships tonight. That's the gift that keeps on giving. We appreciate that. Black Power Podcast, Tensei Doris, and everybody else there in the chat room. We appreciate that as well. We're going to take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. When I come back, I'm going to explain to all of you in very simple to understand language. This will be very easy to grasp. It's not politically wonky. It's not going to be a bunch of highfalutin academic terms and esoterica. Why supporting a black agenda now is exactly what the doctor ordered across the board to punish Donald Trump and to undo the MAGA agenda. This is the Black Channel.
The modern woman brought us the modern man. We can thank Kevin Samuels that didn't thank TBA for the high-value man. TBA doubled down and manifested the producer. Honey Beauty birthed the king and 4 of the sensual love. Modern man, high-value man, alpha male, and demigod. With Honey Beauty, you can be the man you want to be. Stop over to honeybeauty.com. That's HUNEBEA-UTY.com.
Teacher, knowledge on the block. Got the kids learning, minds open like a lock. Books and skills from the east to the west. Bringing education, yeah, we're simply the best. Classes on fire, brains burning with desire. Innovation driving like a tire through the mire. Math, science, history, we got the whole range. Kids hitting new heights, teachers making a change. Just to be the teacher, stacking up the grades. Future bright shining, no need for no shades. Got the youth thriving, moving up the ladder. Smart and sharp, brains growing fatter. Lessons so lit, yeah, they stay in a blaze. Every mind sharp like a sword in the haze. Mr. B in the house breaking knowledge chains. Education kingpin, we repping the games. Mr. B the teacher.
Order yours today. to experience all the benefits of Ash Kickin' Body Butter. With skin so smooth and soft, you'll thank us for it. Shop Ash Kickin' online. That's ASHKICKIN.com.
Hi, this is Brenda Starr, creator of Poetry with a Purpose and author of the book Pressed But Not Crushed. Pressed But Not Crushed is an anthology of political poems that address current and historical issues in American descendants of slave population and African American population. The book describes slaveries and its residuals, Jim Crow segregation, social depredation, and other relevant issues to American descendants of slaves and African Americans, including the current political climate that does not address our issues.
This is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. Very glad to be with you all here this evening. And we have been discussing how the Democrats, in a shameful display of capitulation to white supremacists, I went over the number of them who voted to support a resolution honoring white supremacist podcaster Charlie Kirk. And now people are angry because here's the thing. All you're doing is emboldening Trump and his agenda. They literally voted for Trump's agenda. Literally. Over 90, literally voted to back his agenda. So let that go ahead and be a symbol and a sign to everybody about whose side they're really on. The link to the Zoom is now open. So if you want to go ahead and give us a call, you can. If you want to give us a call, you can. If you've been instructed by my mods to call in, that is not a request, that is an order. Or you'll be removed. That's perfectly fine too. But for everyone who does want to call in, the link to the Zoom is at the top of the chat room, so you all can go ahead and start filing in now if you are so inclined. If you are so inclined, you can. Folks, Trump's agenda, what people don't understand is that Trump's agenda is a white supremacist agenda. And all these other things he's doing to quote unquote silence the critics, that is so he can ram through the white supremacist agenda. So all these other things that folks are complaining about, the way you shut that down is by derailing the white supremacist agenda. Let's take a look at Texas. If the Democrats make a black agenda the order of the day in Texas, you dilute Texas and there goes Greg Abbott and that gets shut down. You want to talk about the Deep South and all these other places that are pushing his agenda and whatnot. You want to talk about breaking the hold in the government. You need to be pushing a black agenda and talking about what black folk need. You want to talk about Trump and his crony capitalism? People funneling the dollars into black folks' hands. The way that you did Elon Musk, the way that you have for Intel, the way you have for TSMC, the way that you have for all these other folk here, the way you have for Hyundai and things. When you do that right there, once we get set up, the white supremacist agenda comes to a crashing halt. He's not going to have room to breathe. He's not going to have room to move. And it will be something that would be far more socially acceptable. Trump has come into office and he is pushing uncut, unfiltered, unadulterated white supremacy. And what you need to do is sit up here and say that we have a policy of unity and we have a policy of national solidarity, and that Trump, you are going to counter the white supremacist agenda with a justice agenda and then go ahead and start doing what you're supposed to be doing over here. People, do you realize everything they would do in that regard? You would hear Trump and his buddies screaming. Trump and all the MAGA morons would be screaming and squealing. They would be screaming and squealing in agony from the very first day. And all you got to do is just say, we know we're doing the right thing, because listen who's yelling and squealing about it. We know we're doing the right thing. We know we are. in the chat room, whoever Rosa is needs to give us a call. By the way, for you folks up here, for those of you who are really upset about these things, it's not helping you. It's not helping you here. Sitting in the chat room is not going to help you. It's not going to do anything. We got a system set up here that just comes and disappears. You're not going to be able to help anything until you articulate it. See, understand something. The reason why Charlie Kirk has gone down in flames and it's already using his name is toxic. The only place it's acceptable is in white supremacist circles. Hell, even quote unquote the amazing Lucas. He's sitting up here getting views now for taking our side on it. And that doesn't mean we're going to start supporting him necessarily. But by the way, yeah, the arc of history has already shown us what the right side of this is. And it ain't Charlie Kirk's. Now, there have been a bunch of coon and tethers and whatnot on YouTube and places like that showing their true colors. And by the way, we want that too. We want everybody to be exposed and to show their true colors and to show where they actually stand. This is exactly what we want. This is exactly what we're looking for. But folks, if you really want to make Donald Trump go insane, you start empowering specifically black people and not your hand-picked coons. You start empowering specifically black people. Donald Trump went down the whole damn list of white companies, white avatars, white associates that he set up here and handpicked, and off he goes making deals with them and dropping dollars to them from everything from Clark Construction to his nephew and nieces and every damn thing else. When we show up, the Democrats tell us, oh, we can't do that. Trump's sitting there doing it every day, and y'all do it when you give him power, just not for us. If you do the exact same thing where we're concerned, that whole damn thing crumbles. Not just at the national level, but also at the state level. Properly funding a black agenda. You can't name anything about Donald Trump, what he's doing right now, that you don't like, that we couldn't dismantle. We've already covered how it is the Turning Points was funded by millions and millions of dollars. We already covered that. And that's important to understand, is that if you want to shut those things down, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. You are going to have to, if you back us, that's how you shut these things down. You can sit up here and make this a civil rights agenda. You want to stop Trump? Would you sit up here and say that we are, as the Democrats, we are backing a fully civil rights agenda? Across the board, it's a civil rights agenda, and don't try to steer it into, well, you see, we do for LGBT. No. Donald Trump's agenda is grounded and rooted in white supremacy, and you will specifically deal with that, specifically for the descendants of the American slaves. You start pushing that as the agenda, that's the anti-Trump agenda. Do you realize how many people will be absolutely thrilled to see Trump squealing about it? Because you know the second it happens, that's it. He's going to be apoplectic. The second it happens. That's how you shut that down. Whether you're talking about free speech, whether you are talking about monetary policy, whether you're talking about tariffs, whether you are talking about crony capitalism, all roads run through the foundation. All roads run through the foundation. We are the agenda. We are the cause célèbre that you need to be backing. We're the one. Not the rest of this stuff. We are the agenda that if you want to attack and shut down everything he's doing, we're the football that you run with if you want to knock down that agenda. You're not happy about what's happening in the Middle East. You're not happy about your food prices. The black farmers. Folks, we are made to order. We are the solution to the problem. Backing us, that is the tool. That is the vehicle that gets all the rest of that. You want to talk about free speech? Buddy, you don't want your black comedians to actually have a damn platform, not the ones cooning and stuff. Your black comedians having a real damn platform, that's exactly what you want to be. Tell the white comedians fall back. We'll show you how it's done. Y'all fall back, we'll show you how it's done. You don't got to take any social flack for it. We will do what we've always done. We were always the spokespeople and the mouthpiece that articulated these things. You don't need a Jimmy Kimmel right now. That's not what we need right now. if they put it behind us where it's supposed to be, that's where it makes things change. But we are the agenda and we are the vehicle that if you back us at every step of the damn way, that's what shuts all this mess down. Take a look at Trump's buddies and say, yeah, we taking it from you. Let me hand it to this black person over here. Let me hand it to them. And everybody's going to be laughing and cheering and Trump will be squealing and whatnot. And I'm talking about do it that damn day. Trump's buddies, you cut the funding off right then and just have some black folk come in and start boarding up the place and telling everybody where all the energy's going. You do that in Texas, you do that in Alabama, you do that in Tennessee, all these places that they claim to be and pretend to be complaining about. You do that there. You do it in Florida. And watch how it changes. And it won't take long either. But therein lies the point. Let me go ahead and jump over here on Zoom. We're going to go ahead and see who we got over here on Zoom. By the way, please remember, folks, if you call in on Zoom, just make sure you have your camera and your microphone turned on. That will not for YouTube. That's just for the host, just to make sure we don't have any trolling issues. That's all we ask. And then after that, everything is fine. So please make sure you have that available. Okay, I've got officially something here. Not sure what we're doing over here. If you're ready for your OnlyFans, not tonight. Okay, brother, see if you can turn around or something there. You kind of dark. There you go. All right, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, sir. Oh, this newfangled technology has them confounded. Okay, well, they say we're not sure what the mute is. We don't know how it works. I see a microphone icon, but what does that really mean? Okay, sir, you haven't figured it out yet. You're still muted. I'm trying to have some patience here, y'all. But sir, you're still muted. So if you got any type of headphones on or something like that, that might be causing you issues. For those of you who call up on Zoom, make sure y'all got that together. If you got your headphones or anything else in there, that could be getting you tied up.
Okay, I got it.
All right, sir. What's on your mind?
How you doing? Calling from Louisiana, Lafayette.
No.
I enjoy your show. I'm surprised that I'm actually on here. I just want to say that really, I'm not surprised at all, and we really should be aware of what's happening. But we shouldn't be stressing out about it because it's always been this way. Always.
Well, I certainly want us to be vigilant and aware because you can't tell if your plans are working if you're not monitoring them. And I've been monitoring it. I've been monitoring now going on 2 decades. I did not advise what I did last year and the year before that because I was guessing my way through it. It's like, no, it's time to derail the train. It's time to derail the train, and this being nice and playing along with it and trying to keep the peace. Yeah, damn the peace. Damn keeping the peace. Let's just let all hell break loose and show everybody that we are willing to sit back and let it burn. And maybe once everybody else has some 3rd-degree burns of their own, since they're clearly content to ignore ours, maybe once everybody else got a few 3rd-degree burns, maybe they'll decide it's time to stop the damn arsonist. Maybe they will. Or maybe they won't. But they still got another 3 years to go with him. They got another 3 years of this to go. So just we're used to this kind of discomfort and suffering. They're not. And I don't think they're going to be able to hold up as long as we can or as well as we can. I don't think they're going to make it. I don't think they can take 3 more years of this.
No way. I mean, I understand exactly what you're saying. I just say just let it all crash and burn. We don't have to do anything. They're doing it on their own power. Let them fall on their own soul.
Well, there is one thing we have to do. We have to keep acknowledging it because that is what reminds them that we are fully aware and fully conscious of what's going on. We're not passive bystanders. This is not some accidental, incidental, unpredicted result of it. This is exactly what we were bargaining for right here. Do we have your undamned divided attention now? You ready to quit playing dumb and stupid now? Oh, you're not? Okay, well, we can do this all over again in 2028. And I wonder if you'll have any constitutional rights left by then.
Well, to tell you honestly, I don't think it's going to even make it that long, to tell you honestly.
Well, here's the problem. They're going to have to kind of just sit with it. There's the real issue, because the problem for the Democrats is just not liking Trump is not enough. You have to actually have some agenda. And what they've been bargaining on is that Trump will be just so bad, everybody will just vote for them no matter what. Our job is to make sure that that does not become the issue. That folks don't just say the lesser of two evils garbage. Yeah, damn that. No, that's not going to fly, because both of you have been pretty damn evil. So going forward, no, this is deliberate. We're not going for lesser of two evils. And you have to actually have an agenda that we are in favor of. And the agenda is not Kamala Harris, well, I'm not Trump. Yeah, that ain't going to make it at all. We're showing you how serious we are about letting it burn. We're not playing games on it. So that's the number one thing we need to do is stay engaged and make sure that we're still talking about this and discussing this, because this reminds the political establishment, oh, we know exactly what's going on. Yeah, just like y'all got behind closed doors and you knew exactly what you were doing, voting for Charlie Kirk's resolution, we know exactly what we're doing too. I'll let you have the last word.
Well, everything, you put it plainly, and I totally agree. Let it all fall. But of course, like you say, just stay aware of what's going on, and hey, just have your popcorn and your soda, and just watch the show.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. We appreciate that. Yeah, like I say, everybody wants to play dumb about these things. And up until now, that was a viable strategy. The baby boomers love that. They love playing stupid. But yeah, we're not playing with you anymore. We're not playing along anymore. We're not going along with the games anymore. If Trump is going to be eating on folk, damn it, he's not going to be lunching on us by ourselves anymore. We're going to have company. All the folks who snickered and smiled and when they saw police gunning down our children, and they saw Trump taking out ads against the Central Park Five, and you were just real quiet, meepish. Yeah, I think there's a lot of fire under your ass to speak up a lot louder. I think after this, it's going to light a fire under a lot of folks' asses to speak up a lot more. Let's go ahead and jump back over here on Zoom again. We got William Hand. Interesting name there. All right, William. We're going to give you a couple of moments here. Make sure you have your camera and your microphone turned on for me here, just so we don't have any trolling issues. William, I'm going to give you 5 seconds here, and then we'll take care of that. Otherwise, we got to move on. William, I can give you 3 more seconds here, then we have to move on. Okay, William will not be joining us during tonight's program, so William Hand is getting backhanded. Oh, we can do better than that, can't we? That's better. So yeah, folks, in reality, if you really want to derail Trump back in the black agenda, can you imagine doing that from state to state? He has come in with an agenda of injustice, and you start making it the party policy, the Democrat policy, that there will be a system of justice. Now we're going to start having programs of justice. We're going to start having infrastructure projects of justice, everything that Donald Trump despised. We're going to have free speech of justice. We're going to have college tours of justice. Everything that he is anathema to and despises. And understand something, we're the only ones who can make it work, but you're not going to grab your hand-picked LGBT immigrant bootlick class puppets. It's only going to work if you got the on code. Now, you put the on code people in there, and everything else falls into place, which is exactly what they know, which is exactly what they're afraid of. Folks, this resolution supporting Charlie Kirk was not accidental. This was very, very much deliberate. And it was very, very much deliberate because this is the game that they're playing. They think that they're all sitting up here making backroom deals and dealing with each other, and that they're playing against us. Please understand that that's their perspective on it. Their perspective on it is that they're playing against all of us. The Democrats get in their rooms and then they start strategizing about how they can get us to vote for them. And then once they're in office, how they can defeat us. So they want to win their elections, but once they get in office, it goes from beating the Republicans to how can I beat you? The folks who voted for us, how can I defeat you? Well, let me get together in this back room here with a bunch of the bootlicking Democrats and the Republicans, and let's see what I can do to defeat you. And that's the game that they've been playing. And they get elected, and then they all start getting together and putting their heads together and organizing and strategizing about how they're going to beat us. That's what they do. That's what they do. In the chat room, if you've been instructed by the mods to call in, please understand that that is not a request, that is an order. So we got some folks in the chat room here. And one more thing, let me just go ahead and remind you, understand something. If you are too weak and cowardly to defend your hollow heroes, if you can't do it, just understand, Charlie Kirk is toxic. Charlie Kirk is toxic because you can't repeat his words. Okay, I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge Superb in the chat room tonight, so I'm glad to hear you still there. So I see you, Superb. Don't get yourself in trouble. She's listening to us from under the bed right now, y'all. What? So shout out, Superb. But in any case, understand something. We're not destroying Charlie Kirk. Your illegitimate movement is destroying him. You can't have a fake icon. You can't fabricate icons, people. It's not like making a pop star. It doesn't work that way. And you see, the thing is, our icons are true heroes and icons because we can read you chapter and verse. These are people who sacrificed. These are people who pursued justice and died for the cause of justice. You've got a phony who pursued injustice, and you all are too scared to even repeat his own words. You're all demanding that people do anything and everything except repeat what he said. You're spending all your time saying, oh, everything y'all don't like. Yes, he said some racist stuff, but it's not racist. You're taking it out of context. We're taking it out of context by repeating his words.
Nigga, what?
So let me get this straight, everyone. We're taking him out of context by replaying his words, repeating his words. That is taking him out of context. Do you realize how pathetic you are when you have to use the out of context thing? Is this what you all are going to etch onto your memorials? Charlie Kirk, out of context? That's not the way that works. You're supposed to be proud of every word that came out of his mouth, and you're supposed to be proud to repeat it. You're supposed to be able to do that, but you can't. You're terrified to say it because you know that it's toxic. You know it will not stand the test of time. Hell, it's not standing the test of the week. And you know it. The only place this counts is in Washington for the little political gains. What you can't do is walk out into the society with it. You can't do that. And this is why it will fail, because you see, we've been here before. We've been here before, folks. The Confederate monuments, they've already tried to turn the previous group of American Nazis in the Confederacy. They've already tried to lionize them and turn them into heroes. How the hell did that work out? Robert E. Lee never became a hero. Stonewall Jackson never became a hero. All of them remained villains and remain villains to this very day. And now they're taking statues down and whatnot. Yes, because we have the very correct context. They're all villains. You could not redeem them and you couldn't recharacterize them. And Charlie Kirk will be exactly the same. You will not recreate him and reimagine him and revamp his image. He will go alongside Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson and all of the other American hate mongers. He will go alongside them. And you'll just furiously be scratching around in the dirt to see if you can find something else you can use, and it will elude you. Because you cannot make heroes of genuine injustice. Every time you play your hero's words, you have to keep making excuses for him. That's not the way a hero works, people. Heroes don't need people to keep being their attorney, arguing on their behalf. Let me go ahead and jump over here on Zoom. We got James on Zoom. James, what's on your mind?
Hey, how do you do, Jason? It's a pleasure to be a part of the broadcast. Um, as you said, and I'm starting to say and realize this is good. Now, what the Democrats are showing me through your presentation is that they're not going to change come the next general election. So we have to prepare ourselves to show them that we are not going to vote for the Democrats because there's no way they can honor someone who's our baby Hitler or one of his children, honor him, give him a statue and a month holiday type deal. I mean, the way they doing it. So these people are straight up punks, and they are not going to fight for us. As far as when I say they're punks when it's concerning our needs. But for the general white supremacist public, they are putting on the cape for them. And I'm glad you're showing this because I realize that we are not going to be taken seriously in this next election, not with these people. So I really do appreciate, and I had to be a part of showing you that I appreciate what you're doing because it's perfectly clear about those numbers of people. Nancy Pelosi, Jeffries, what the? I mean, well, then it's just ridiculous. So I'm preparing myself and I'm going to prepare others to realize the fact that we are going to have to be closer to each other because everyone else is just so far apart.
I agree, brother. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. We appreciate that. You know, a lot of folks out there are not taking these things seriously, and that's okay too. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and let them do that. I'm going to go ahead and let them do that because that's the kind of thing I want them to do. Some people like to play dumb. You know how it is. Some folks like to play dumb. Some people like to play stupid. They can keep doing that. That's fine. And there are a lot of things happening out here. There are a lot of things happening out here, and I want folks to be aware of because other folks are not talking about that. They're in light of these recent events here. I want folks to make sure they keep their heads on swivel. I want folks to be aware here. Charlie Kirk was a white supremacist, and that is why after he died, everywhere you go online, they're attacking black people, even though it has absolutely nothing to do with us. Had nothing to do with us. This is white on white crime, and yet, amazingly, they keep talking about black people. They keep bringing it back to that. And what that tells you is that everyone understands the assignment. Do you understand that that means everyone understands the assignment? They understand what they're supposed to be doing. They understand it. And that's the reason why these people are acting like they are. Because everyone gets it. So you can't hide what it really is. If he wasn't about white supremacy, why is it that all of his supporters are out here throwing racial slurs and epithets? Why is it that that was their response to him dying in a white-on-white crime incident? Why is that? Why is that? Because that was what he stood for. That was the only value that he had to them, was doing that. So now that he's gone, it's like, well, just because he's gone doesn't mean we stop practicing white supremacy. They're doing exactly what they were doing before. They're doing the exact same thing that they were doing before. Exact same thing. No changes. None. So this is why your injustice movement can't really make it. Your injustice movement can't really make it. But there are going to be some other folks out here feeling the heat. There are going to be some other people feeling the heat, and there's going to be some other people feeling the pain. They sure are. You see, I told you here before, when you sit up here and you start feeding these beasts and monsters and you tell yourself, oh, well, don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. It'll be all right. I'm not worried about that. Well, you better be careful, because you're dealing with some folks here who they got plans for you. They got plans for you about what they're going to do with you, and how they're going to make that work for themselves. And please understand, these white supremacists are not going to be able to stick together on this. There's the whole thing about it. Everybody had it in their minds that they were going to all get together and it was going to be great and white supremacy was going to rule. And as usual, they started whacking at each other. Let me go ahead and jump over here on Zoom right quick, because there's something else I want to show you all, but it might take a little while to explain. So let me go ahead and see if I can jump on Zoom here real quick. I think I got Trenton. I think I got Trenton here on Zoom. Trenton, by the way, for everybody who's on Zoom, please make sure you have your camera and your microphone turned on, just so we don't have any trolling issues. You won't be shown to the general public. You won't be shown to the general public, but just make sure you don't have any issues with that. Okay, Trenton, unmute yourself. We'll see if we can help Trenton with that here. Folks are calling up tonight. They're muted. They're trying to figure it out. All right, Trenton, what's on your mind?
You know what, Jason, the past, 10 years, we heard the Democrats running around saying that Trump is racist. Trump is racist. He hate black, people of color, so on, so on, so on. But now you got one who was on tape, who was on video saying all this, and they quiet about it. And now you look and you say, well, what was all that talk for about 10 years about y'all was talking about Trump was racist, but now you got the guy who was talking about black women, who y'all said is the backbone of the Democratic Party, and now you're quiet. Now you talking about the president of the United States, but a blogger or vlogger, whatever, you're scared to say something about. And like you said, when they lost the election, they wasn't mad at Trump. They was mad at us. So I think if they do get back in office, I think their revenge is going to be against us, because you can see with the border and so on and so on. So, that's what I got to say about it. Peace, bro.
Well, look, our ability to outlast them, that's the most important thing. Our ability to do that. These folks are betting on something totally different from us. Our ability to outlast that. They don't really have that. So, if you try to out Trump, that's not going to work. You're not going to be able to out white supremacy him. You guys, as Democrats beat that, he can sell it better. So, any attempt to do that, brother, is just going to hit up bad. It doesn't go well. It goes terribly for them. And they're in the wilderness bad right now. It can get a lot worse. Please understand, this is not nearly as bad as it can get. It can get a whole lot worse than this. It really can. Thank you for giving us a call tonight. It can get a whole lot worse than that. You ain't seen nothing yet. It can get a lot worse. It can get a lot worse. I was saying in here that there are some folks out there who told themselves about what wouldn't be happening or what they didn't have to worry about. People just do dumb things. They go off and they just go ahead and say things and they figure they're going to be okay. And, oh, don't worry. We're going to be all right. And then you see these folks putting together things against you. You see folks putting together things against you. Let me go ahead and jump back over here on Zoom right quick. Let me go ahead and see if we can get who is this? Black Joker? Okay, I had Black Joker. I think I did. All right, Black Joker. I don't see anything over there. Where's the light for me, sir? Let me go ahead and see if we can have that right quick. I know folks are calling me from the garage, so I need them to make sure they get that taken care of for me. All right, there you go, brother. All right, Black Joker, what's on your mind?
Yeah, so basically, how you feel about your brother Farrakhan being a sellout?
Okay. Well, at least you live up to your name. That's not really the subject we're talking about here tonight. So, did you have something about what we're talking about?
Well, I think you're talking about people that's selling out to Charlie Kirk. Are you talking about that?
Okay, I didn't say people selling out to Charlie Kirk, but what's your point, sir? I mean, how is that relevant? You're burning time.
Well, whose side you on, first of all?
Okay, sir, I'm on Black Empowerment side. You're doing a lot of talking, sir, so I'll give you about 5 more seconds to get to your point, sir.
I don't support your propaganda, but I'm here to tell you that you're all about making money, just like any other black leader, so you're really a scam artist.
Okay, and why would you think that's scamming, sir?
Because you're about hustling. That's how you put food on the table, right?
Okay, sir, I didn't know you had any insights into me. I didn't know you had any insights in that manner. You seem to be very, very angry. By the way, that beard, I'm sorry, that texture of your hair, I couldn't help but notice it. Your hair texture is interesting.
Okay.
Where are your people? Where are your people from?
Where are my people from?
Yes, sir, your grandmother and your grandfather.
I'm black and Hispanic. That's all.
There you go.
What's your race?
So that's why you're unhappy and triggered, right there. All right.
Well,
now we got that sorted out.
The thing is,
that explains
I'm
everything.
Mixed race. I'm mixed race, so I don't claim you though.
Sir, nobody claims you.
I don't claim you. You know why? Because you want everybody to join you.
I don't want you.
You want everybody to join you, people, because you're inferior. You don't even have your own people to save you. You need a white man to save you. You need a mixed man to save you. You need everybody to save you.
Are you the mixed man who's going to save somebody?
I'm not going to save you, original.
Okay,
people,
who are you able to save? Who?
I'm not going to save you, original.
No, I asked you who are you able to save?
I'm able to save myself, but not you.
Oh, okay. Well, then you can't do anything.
I don't want to save you people.
But sir, nobody asked you to. Because
But you're so desperate, you need everybody to join you.
Nobody asked you to save anything because you can't save anybody.
Why do you even want white people to join you? Think about it.
We didn't ask anybody to join us. You call the
white man brother. You call the white woman sister. You call everybody a brother. Why is that?
Sir, you came here.
Why you call everybody a brother?
Okay, sir. You came. Sir, you came here.
Why do you call everybody a brother?
Okay, sir. We don't talk over the host here because that would be trolling. So you don't want to start trolling.
You're very desperate, though. I tell you.
Okay, sir. You came here. Nobody asked you. We don't care.
I'm challenging you.
But sir, you asked to speak to us. We don't want to speak to you.
I'm challenging you because you're talking propaganda.
But sir, we don't care. We don't care what you think.
You want everybody to join you. Yes, you do. You want everybody to join. You want the gays to join.
Sir, we don't care what you think, and we're not. Show me where we asked. Show me where we asked anybody to join us. Show me where we asked for that.
Your speeches every day, what you protest about.
Okay, show me where I asked for anybody to join us. Show me where I asked for that.
You're equal to the same people that.
Okay, sir. Second time. Show me where I asked for that.
You're equal to the original.
Okay, sir. Third and final time. Show me where I asked for that.
You are equal to the same.
Okay,
people.
so in other words, you're off your meds and you're lying.
You're a fool. You're a nigger. You're a monkey. You're an ape. You're a devil. You're
Is that supposed to hurt our feelings?
Yes, it hurts your feelings.
How do you figure that hurts feelings?
You need my mixed race counterparts to save you. You need everybody to help you. You need somebody to save you people. Are you dark skinned? I bet you are, right?
Yes, sir. I absolutely am.
Yeah,
what's wrong with that?
Because you people that look like you need everybody to help you people.
How are you? But sir, you can't help me. You're powerless.
The thing is, you are powerless because you even call the white man brother. You need him to save you.
Sir, you have no power. You're just a mixed up kid.
You need everybody to save you. You're marching the streets talking about we want equality. We need everybody to join us. We need everybody to help us. This is what y'all always talk about, you people. See, the thing is
what state are you in?
The thing.
What
I live
state
in
are
New
you
York
in?
City.
Oh,
I live in New York City. Where are you from?
Okay, which borough are you in?
I'm in the Bronx. Where you live?
Now that
Where
explains. So he's one of these.
That explains everything.
He's one of these
See-
Dominican tethers. Okay,
See,
one of
Dominican
those.
tether. Did I say my nationality?
He's one of those.
You think because you see
it's
my
only gonna
face.
It's going to be.
If I was Dominican, I
or
would
Puerto
speak Spanish, right? So
you
you're a
can
fool.
barely speak English.
See, you're a fool.
You can
You're a
barely
fool.
speak
So
English. I don't
here's
think
the
you can
thing:
Spanish.
you are an original dark-skinned nigger.
You can't
need
speak any
everybody to
Spanish.
save you.
You can't speak any
You need
Spanish.
everybody to save you.
Show me
but
where
you
your
cannot save
Show me where
yourself.
your Spanish support is. Where's your Spanish support?
You don't.
Who are
But
the
you see, we not begging
who are the
you.
Spanish who accept
We
you?
not begging you.
Who are
I
the
don't
Spanish
have
who accept
Dominicans
you?
begging me.
Who are the Spanish who
I don't
accept
have
you
the
as one of
Haitians
the?
begging me. Hey, I don't even have the Africans begging me.
I'm
And they
curious.
look just like you.
Who are the Hispanics
They
who
look
see you
just
as
like you.
Who are
They
the
look just
Hispanics
like
who
you.
claim you?
But they're not begging you though.
Who's-
How come an African will
who's-
never beg you?
Dude,
How
who's
come they don't beg
who's
you? How come
claiming
they don't
you?
want you?
Who's claiming you? Who are the
You
Hispanics who
want
claim
me to
you?
join you. That's the thing about it. You want the white man to join you. You want everybody to join you because you cannot survive on your own.
Where's your mom from?
Cannot survive.
Well, no,
on
where's
your
your-
own.
where's your mom
You cannot
at?
survive on your own. You
Where,
cannot survive on your own.
where's your mother at?
You cannot survive on your own. See how you're talking about a mother? What about
Yes,
a
sir.
father?
Where's
I grew
your-
up with my father.
I don't think
grew up with my father.
I don't believe that.
I grew up with my father.
I don't believe
I
you.
don't support gay rights. You support
I
gay
don't
rights. That's
believe
why
you.
you just said. That's why you just said my mother because you support
I
homosexuality.
don't believe
That's
you.
why you support homosexuality because you just talked about someone's mother instead of talking about somebody's father. That's
Prove
the
it.
point.
Prove
So
it. Prove you know
so
where
the
your
thing
mom is. Prove you know where your mom is at.
That why you keep talking about mother?
Prove to us that you know where your mother is. Prove it. Because we
Why
don't believe
you.
you.
Represent
We don't believe
the
you.
fatherhood. Where is fatherhood?
Where is your mother?
My father.
Explain
I
to
don't
us where
care
your
nothing
mom
about
is.
that. I care about my.
He doesn't care where his mother is?
I care about my father's. I
He doesn't care about where his mother is?
care about
Wow.
mothers because you're a homosexual. That's why you care about.
People, Kanye ain't the only one off his meds.
You're a homosexual. That's why you care about mothers so much. I didn't mention nothing about a mother figure.
Okay.
So you see,
Wow, what
you're
did you
not
say?
a real man. But you see,
Damn
my
mama.
point is, you
Dear
need
Papa.
everybody.
Oh, boy. Folks, when we talk about mental illness and emotional illness, this is like biracial illness. Yeah, y'all, folks, when you have mixed kids, sometimes they just mixed up. You thought they were mixed race? They're just mixed up.
Brains of the community. Are we not? We are the brains of the community.
Dude, where's your
Rosa
brain?
Parks-
Okay,
Rosa
yeah.
Parks helped you
We are
get
the
in the
brains.
front.
The guy with no sense is pretending to be the brains of it. To the women of New York, we feel your pain. This is the caliber of male that they have in New York, in a lot of these places. Some of you chicks out here, you gave him a chance because he was light-skinned and you figured the kid would come out looking like El DeBarge and you thought that was going to work out for you. And then you found out he's just on drugs and he's just strung out and this is where it is. So there is a lot of untreated mental illness up there in New York, especially among the biracial kids. No shade. Y'all sit up here and join turning points and then start wigging out. So, but yes, you can take a look at him and see, doesn't this look like the face of sanity and reason to all of you? And have you ever seen that?
We are the brains of the movement. We are the brains of the community. Who helped you dark-skinned monkeys get on that front of the bus? Rosa Parks and Half-Breed. Who helped you people get ahead? Malcolm X, who was half white, killed by you.
Where's your mom? I want to see your mom.
Why are you talking homosexual about a woman?
I need to see
You're
your mom.
homosexual. Why do you care about another woman? Well, you're a homosexual.
I need to see your mother because I don't
You're
believe
a
it.
faggot. What about my father? Why are you not asking about my father?
Because you don't have one. You don't have one.
I do have a father, but
No,
you keep
you
talking
don't.
about a mother because you respect women, you faggot. That's what it comes down to. You respect women, you homosexual.
What did he say?
I
He
don't
hates his
respect
mama.
women.
He despises
I don't respect women. I don't respect women. You know why?
Really?
Because they're hoes. That's why I don't respect women, because they're hoes. And
Oh,
first
really?
of all,
Including
I grew
your
up with
mom?
my mother. First of all, I grew up with my mother. She's dead.
So
and
your
she
mom,
was a
your
virgin
mom's a, are
before.
you saying your mom's a hoe? Are you saying
No,
that?
my mother was a virgin before I was born. Just
Nigga,
to correct
stop.
you on that.
Just
But I wasn't
quit.
talking about that.
Just
See, you wanted to talk about a mother because you're
Y'all, this is weird, man.
You're a
This
mother's
is
boy.
Weird.
That's
this New York. This is what happened.
faggot. You're a homosexual. But I was trying to make my point, and I already just
You
did.
don't have a point. All right, let's go ahead and drop that. But took me a minute to go find my Zoom window because I was like, oh, this will be great for content. So, yeah, somebody's nephew, he's not off the pipe fully. Whoever that is, your nephew is not off the pipe fully. He's wandering around the Bronx. He done got a hold of some of that new synthetic. Your nephew done got a hold of some of that new synthetic. And I mean, he's on the internet. He's not acting a fool. He's being a fool. So, damn the narcotic. He done got a hold of that synthetic. That synthetic is doing him something. That synthetic is doing him something. He don't know. Ain't turned him every which way but loose. He's just, that is it. He hates his mama. He hates the kids. He hate women. They all hoes. And damn my mama. What about my daddy? And now he's just marching the streets. He's just marching the streets now, y'all. This is what they're dealing with. This is what we're dealing with here. Let's go ahead and jump back over here on Zoom. Where is Valerie? Let's see if we can get Valerie up here on Zoom. So Valerie, Sharice, Malcolm, everybody else here on Zoom, just hang tight. I know we had to survive the madness. All right, Valerie, go ahead and unmute yourself, please. Okay, Valerie's working on it here, this newfangled technology. The crazy folks know how to use this stuff immediately. It's all the sane people getting stuck with it. All right,
Well,
Valerie.
Did I unmute it?
Yes, you did, Valerie. What's on your mind?
Okay. Got so thrown off listening to all that madness that was going on at first. I didn't know where he was coming from.
He's coming from Arkham Asylum. That's where he's coming from. He's coming from Arkham Asylum. You know, the Joker got out and he saw the door was open. And so we're waiting for Batman and Robin to go round him up.
I know that's right. But what I was thinking was, you think maybe them Democrats voted yes for all of this to get Trump to stop saying this is liberals and liberals violence and liberal this and that, to get it off of them and then throw it onto Black America, you know?
I mean, here's the thing.
Off of them.
Here's the thing. What this really confirms is that the Democratic leadership is a part of the Uniparty, and they're all in bed against us. And everything else is theater. The Republicans come out and tell you what the agenda is because it's politically safe for them to do so. The Democrats need your support and they tell you, oh, we're definitely against that. And they're hoping that nobody looks at how they actually vote. But in reality, when you see how they vote, it's like, I'll be damned. You're all on the same side against us. So this was really for that purpose, because I'm saying there is no Republican threat in New York State. And yet 2 of New York's representatives are siding with this. Well, you can't say it's because you're worried about losing your seat or you're worried about Republicans. They got the two of the safest seats in the nation. So that's not the reason they did it. They did it because they believe in this. This is what they really believe in. And if they voted against it, they don't want to put a bunch of momentum behind us. So they want to, I'm not going to say they want to make sure that they have us in a position where we're supporting them, but at the same time, they want to have white supremacist avatars that they can leverage against us. So they're willing to chip around the edges, but they are not willing to change the status quo or to destabilize it, because they are the status quo, and whatever they see, everything that's in our favor is a bad thing. and they just pretend it isn't. That's all.
That's true. That is so true. Anyway, that's how I was thinking about it. But homeboy just threw me all off of what all I was gonna say with all that madness.
Well, baby, are those Newports or Virginia Slims you got? Say it.
Smoke friendly.
Say it. Which is it?
It's smoke friendly.
Smoke friendly. Okay, what she say? She trying to get those numbers up. I don't blame you. They charging you off for taxes and everything else. So is it menthol or non-menthol?
Menthol.
All right, baby. What she say? What she say? Damn, what the doctor say?
I'm telling you, you got to die anyway, and I'm gonna be happy when I do that.
What she say? I don't blame it. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Yeah, she had to light up one while she was talking there. I'm like, it's like 5 niggas left in America smoking cigarettes. And she one of them. So I ain't mad at her. I ain't mad at you, baby. I ain't mad at you at all. Smoke it up. What she say? She said, you got to go from something. At least I know what mine is. I'm not mad at you at all. What she say? She got that 2-pack a day voice. Damn. At least she got that 2-pack a day voice honestly. What she say? She said, hey, I'm better than the previous caller. All I smoke is cigarettes. She said, hey, I got some sense. All I smoke is cigarettes. And cigarettes don't make you crazy. That fella before me, he's smoking everything else in New York, but all I'm smoking is cigarettes. Like, that might be the best ad for cigarettes I ever saw, was the call I just had. That might be the best one. Hey, y'all, don't be crazy. Smoke some cigarettes. All this other stuff y'all doing, oh, hell no. Smoke some cigarettes. All right, let's see if we can go ahead and get Sharice. Let's see if we can get Sharice up here. See if we can get Sharice up here on Zoom. There you go, Sharice. All right, and what is on your mind? Sharice, all right. She got me playing. How in the world are you operating the screen with those talons on the ends of your fingers? With those talons on the ends. Baby, if you don't turn your YouTube off, you got me talking. Turn YouTube off. Turn your YouTube off. You got me talking. Okay. I caught her with her hoop earrings, her 3-inch nails, and her bonnet. 3-inch nails. What?
Okay, is that better? Let's see.
Okay. I mean, she got the bonnet with the gold band on it, too. So she paid money for that one right there. What she say? Only the best on these follicles. Okay. Oh, then she got the fan, too. Damn. Oh, she is ready for the Carnival Cruise tonight, y'all. She is ready for a fella to pull up to take her on that Carnival Cruise. Send me your email and I'll have a raffle. I'll hold a raffle to see what fella gonna take you on that Carnival Cruise. Fellas, she brought her nails, she brought her bonnet, she brought her fan. All she's missing is boots on the ground. That's all she missing, and she ready to go. Either to the Tom Joyner Cruise or to the Essence Festival.
What? It's late, okay? So I've got my bonnet on because it's late.
Understand, baby, you got tomorrow. She got to go tomorrow to go see if she can pull her a deacon. What? She got to look good tomorrow so she can go pull a deacon at the church. So I ain't mad at you.
I am the church. I
ain't mad at you. What's on your mind?
I had my thought before the angry immigrant called because ICE took his mom, is I really recognize more and more how we have to face our own cowardice. Like, we have really allowed ourselves to grow courageously by allowing the full-fledged white supremacists to be in office by sitting down and just letting the thing do what it did. And we're seeing a cowardice in these, I call them demonic rats. We're seeing how cowardly they are. And we're seeing how cowardly, actually, even when the immigrant called with all of his venom, he's angry, and the reason he kept repeating that we need everybody is because he need everybody. He need us. He need the white man to love on him. He need us to save him from ICE. He need us to stop calling ICE. He need us to get ICE to bring his mom home. He need us.
He needs an immigration attorney. He needs a public defender to get his daddy out the joint. What? I mean, he needs pharmaceuticals He's obviously off his meds. If y'all see that nigga on the subway, go the other direction. That's the first thing I'm going to tell y'all. If I ever saw a bastard who would push you on the tracks, that was him right there. He'll be just screaming about his mama the whole time. Mama, 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 and pushing you on the tracks. So if y'all see that nigga on the subway, you have been warned. My audience in New York is warned in advance. I can't tell you all the lunatics on the subway, but I know that one. So if you see him coming down the steps, get ready.
Right. And you can see the whites, and when you start to see all the whites around somebody's eyes, you know it's some insanity going on there. So he is really losing it right now. Ice was probably had just left his apartment building. But anyway, I just was really wanting to say thank you for the insight. I wasn't very political many years ago. I really appreciate your political acumen. I call you our statistician because you really do bring us that aspect of ourselves that many of us had given up on. And when I listen to you, I recognize how we can strategize and really create the kind of momentum we've been desiring for years. So I just really wanted to say, yeah, we're really learning to up our courage. We're learning to make chess moves and recognize that, you know, we really have no friends, but we have ourselves, we have each other, we have our ancestors who I totally believe in. And I just wanted to basically say I see the cowardice, and the cowards got to go because they get everybody killed. And these demonic rats, they're full of cowards, full of them. But that's
I agree. By the way, before you go, how is Mr. Man?
Oh, you remembering now?
I'm the authority, ma'am. What does he not remember? I mean, you know, you didn't think I was gonna not catch up on that one, so. I got a suspicion I know where he's at, but why don't you go ahead and drop the intel? How's that working out?
Oh, I don't really know.
I'm about to say, not with that bonnet, it ain't. Damn. Yeah, when it's a Saturday night and your woman got a bonnet on, she's single.
Well, we're still together, but I'm not. I don't.
Together in quotations.
Yeah, how do they say it's complicated?
No, it ain't. It's very simple. This is not complicated at all. This is very simple. My 5-year-old niece can figure this one out. This is very simple, ma'am. So I'm just saying, okay, I just wanted to know. It was already shaky before. I'm like, has this nigga falling off yet? Did this nigga fall off yet? Because she playing around. I know he done fell off by now. It's been a few months. She called me up wearing all pink with the bonnet. Oh, that nigga gone. He is gone. He down there at the bingo hall right now trying to see if he can pull him a 60-year-old. See if he can get her off her SSI. So, all right, that's her saying she's available. All right, thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Yeah, I'm not going to hassle him too much about that, but I'm like, as soon as I saw her, I'm like, okay. Saturday night with a bonnet on, wearing all pink and got her nails done. She waiting for some nigga to pop in the DMs and respond to her DMs. That's what she's waiting on right now. She's waiting for a fella to actually respond to the DMs so that she can get her weekend started. That's what she's aiming on. All right, let me see if we can jump back over here on Zoom again. We got Malcolm. We got Malcolm in the middle over here on Zoom. Where is Malcolm? There you go, Malcolm. All right, what's on your mind, brother?
Yeah, first off, just like the previous caller, that dude was projecting. Like, he called up already trying to bait so he control. And the lunacy that he was talking about, like he was really confusing for the all lives matter rainbow coalition type stuff, saying you need this, you need that. And you said a couple of times, when did I say that? Where did I say that? And he just kept on going. So yeah, he was off his rocker. Whatever you said.
But do you know what the scariest part is about that, Malcolm? That nigga most likely makes sure he keep his voter registration card up to code. He probably made sure he updated his voter registration card early. So I promise you, he's a voter. I assure you. So they say we can't have the literacy test. I'm like, can we have a psych eval before you can vote? Because this dude here you sure he should? So he could, if we're going to make sure he doesn't have a gun, I'm like, okay, we need his gun and his voter registration card. I need both of those.
I bet you he votes Republican.
Nigga, I bet you he votes Martian. I bet you he votes Venusian. It's just I bet you he votes for pepperoni pizza. It's just whatever's on any ballot he come across, he just marking it. That's it. As long as it ain't black.
If he voted pepperoni pizza, I would agree. I don't eat pork anymore, but that's the only type of vote I would probably agree on when it comes to pepperoni pizza. But yeah, he was doing way too much to prove a point that he never had. But getting back to your main thing about what's going on in New York and how they're responding to this whole situation. Do you know about the amazing Lucas? He used to be.
We already talked about that. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering because what it was is just like the responding that everybody has towards us, either being indifferent or being indifferent is really taking them off.
But we allowed them to be. Because let's be very, very clear. For the last 7 decades, we allowed them to be. That's the downside of the turn the other cheek and passive non-resistance thing. Is it for some people, it did make them sympathetic, but for others, it just emboldened their bestiality. That was the issue that we had. So just going forward, and I saw Lucas on Piers Morgan. I actually posted on my Twitter. And like I say, I mean, he was doing a bunch of stuff there to kind of be triggering, but by the same token, it was very challenging because it's like, okay, wait a minute. If y'all have an issue now, where the hell was your outrage for the last damn decade for all these black folk who done got killed under crazy circumstances and Charlie Kirk telling every lie imaginable to justify it? Why is it y'all were not saying that then? So on that behalf, I fully support that. I thought he did very well. You know, I didn't support everything he said, which I won't because Lucas tend to jump around, but by the sake, like I say, I mean, the folks are not used to us standing up for ourselves and for us saying things that offend them. They're not used to us doing that. They're used to us being like, "Oh, yeah, offend you. He's so sorry," waiting for that pat on the head. They're not used to us no longer looking for a pat on the head. This is new to them. This is brand new to them that we're not expecting to get approval.
And that's why I think the Democrats are doubling down on this craziness. They don't want to challenge him. But we're forcing their hand to. And if they're not, then they're going to show the hand that they really want for us. I mean, they already done it with the policies they've done, but when you have to go on record, which is what they're avoiding the record of it. They'll say, forgive, he didn't deserve that, blah, blah, blah. But when we bring up like Malcolm died because of what he said, Martin died because of what he said, Medgar died because of what he said, and we just go down the list to even when it comes to police brutality. Like these weren't criminals that were killed; these were innocent black people. And even if they did commit a crime, they weren't fighting back. That was abuse of power, and you didn't say anything. It was always forgive.
No, there was always an excuse to do it. I mean, exactly. The bottom line is all these white supremacists, the Megyn Kellys, the Ben Shapiros, the Charlie Kirks, the Daily Wire folk, all they want to know is what are the races of the people in the incident? They want to know what the races are so they can take the white person's side. And it doesn't matter if you're completely wrong. Don't worry, we'll say you're right. So whether it's Daniel Penny or whatever, and then if you flip the races around in the same scenario, they're still going to take the white person's side. So they are in a race war and a political race war and a journalistic race war and an online race war. And what they were not prepared for is that we're like, you know what, we with the business. Okay, if those are the rules and we're not going to let y'all jump around. So get ready to get the work. And that's exactly what they're getting. We are not the civil rights generation. The civil rights generation let them get away with that for decades. We're not them. And what they're getting is a brutal education into who they really dealing with.
Yeah, run that fade. Like, okay, you hit us, we hit you back. There's no turning the other cheek. The only time you're gonna see the other cheek is when you looking up on the ground. It's like you can't take metaphorical punches, you can't take figurative punches, you can't take real punches. So you always want to cry about something, but then you're the one who throws the first punch. Either don't throw the punch, or just stand there and take your ass whooping. But either way, we ain't here off our square. And that is the most tiring thing, because then you got people on the outside trying to reel us back in, which is not going to happen because there's too many of us resisting that. And
this is the first time in the modern era that white supremacy came with a cost. Before now, the cost was we get together in church and talk about forgive your enemies. This is the first time that it actually came with a cost, and you had folks standing on it. We're the people who set American culture. Do not forget that. We are the ones who set the culture. And if we decide that this is what the message is going to be, this is what the message is going to be everywhere when we get done. Well, we decided this is what the message is going to be. It's going to be this right here. Damn you and your phony heroes. We standing on it. So this is the first time in the modern era that white supremacy came with a cost. Now they're seeing it comes with a social cost. We've been putting cops in jail. We've been doing that. But now with these other folk out here speaking bad on us, yeah, that's going to come with a cost for you too. It sure will. What about his wife and kids? He should have been thinking about our wives and kids. What goes around comes around. That's the way it's going to be now. White supremacy will simply come with a cost. If you don't like what you're seeing, if it's ugly, then y'all need to stop the ugliness. You've been doing it for decades and acting like that's cute. Yeah, we're going to show you what the rules are. And that's just simple as that. I'll let you have the last word.
No, that's it. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm going to stay supporting. Have a good night.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. We appreciate that. Yeah, like I say, in the modern era, this is the first time that white supremacist rhetoric came with a cost. Not just a political cost, but a social one, where you can't get us to back down from it. See, it didn't used to come with that. They're used to telling lies and everybody just go along with the lie of it. Now it ain't going that way. Do you realize the frightening ramifications that this holds for the future for them? Do you all understand that? They are witnessing the frightening ramifications of this. Jason, what are the ramifications? The end of I'm white and I say so. That's what they're witnessing. They are witnessing right in front of their faces the sunsetting of I'm white and I say so. That's no longer enough. That's not working anymore. That doesn't really work. Now they're just resorting to desperation tactics. We're just going to christen somebody a hero. It doesn't work that way. All you're going to do is ignite more of a conversation. You're going to have more people talking about him. Just like we bring up George Washington's racist statements, Thomas Jefferson's racist statements, Charlie Kirk's will be right there with the rest of them. And you will not be able to just declare that you're right and everybody get in line. No. Let me explain to y'all something. Because we were so straight down the line about Charlie Kirk, what really upset the Ben Shapiros and the Megyn Kellys and all the white supremacists online, what really upset them was they saw all the white kids saying it. They saw Gen X and Gen Z and millennials. They saw them saying it. Now, that was the frightening moment. They were expecting to see a bunch of black folks saying it, but there was a bunch of white folks saying it. At that point right there, that's it. You've lost the future. They're not upset because they thought Charlie had captured the future. They're upset because once he died, they realized he never had it. It's already over. Now they're just going to see if they can bludgeon and bully people into submission because white supremacy is based on brutality. Let's see if we can bully you into submission. I'm white and I say so is not working anymore. It's not working. You don't get to just say, well, we're white and we say that Trayvon was hunting down George Zimmerman. Well, we're white and Tamir Rice had a gun. Well, we're white and, well, Walter Scott was running too fast. That doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work anymore. And even as they speak and whatnot, because they've been flailing around, they haven't even had a competent reaction to it here. I told you all what they should have done. What they should have done was they should have seized on this moment. They could have seized on this moment when all eyes were watching them and all the eyes were on them, and they could have used this as a moment to galvanize the people and say that we are the party of the big tent. We are the party of all Americans. We are the party welcoming everybody here. They instead said, now we can double down on white supremacy. And they are foolishly snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. What a bunch of boneheaded morons. Oh well. Enjoy this L. Let's go ahead and jump back over here on Zoom again. I got Claiborne up here on Zoom. We got Claiborne on Zoom. All right, Claiborne, what's on your mind?
Oh yeah, man. You know, I really try not to call this time. Really, I mean, listen, man. let me tell you this to the family and everybody else. The Bronx definitely don't represent no motherfucking punk ass nigga like that. I mean, straight up business, man. When he say the Bronx, oh hell no. I'm in the Bronx. I've been everywhere. I'm glad I lived everywhere, all in this country and everywhere else in Canada. One time in Canada in the 80s. But guess what? When you say you from the Bronx, I'm like, man, I definitely got to make it my duty calling this motherfucker shit. He makes the Bronx look real bad, man.
No, brother, no. He doesn't represent the Bronx. He represents he represents Bellevue. And by that I mean the hospital, not the place in California. So yeah, he represents Bellevue Hospital.
You know something, man? If you hit a motherfucker like that, the motherfucker wind up getting you locked up, man. You really straight up get locked up around the motherfucker. You get $500 for whooping a motherfucker ass like that. They'll set a $500 million bill on you for that motherfucker. Straight up, man. And I'm heated right now. I'm really heated because, you know, when you say the Bronx, man, that fucks you up, man. But it don't fuck me up because I know that I'm from the Bronx and from everywhere else. But guess what? No, I know I'm not like what you call them old niggas. No, that's one time when I was young, an older motherfucking nigga told me, yeah, man, you know what? When you get older, you can be like me. I'm like, be like you? Oh, shit, hell no, nigga. I don't want to be like you. What the hell would I want to be like you for? He was an old nigga. And he wasn't an elder. He was just one of those niggas that, you know, you would see all three of his teeth when he's shucking and jiving with the white man. Straight up. You know, who the fuck want to be like that? No, that's an old nigga. And I remember, I mean, he might be dead now. He might be dead. He might still living. I don't know. I don't know where he is. As a matter of fact, I know you don't want to be an old nigga.
Well, the thing is about that dude there, I mean, he led with what he meant. He led talking about he didn't want to get into that one, but that's why I broke it down. I'm like, yeah, I wasn't going. That's why I let you all know what I was seeing. I'm like, yeah, your hair texture, you're mixed, and I'm like, yeah, where your people from? Your hair texture is obviously a little different there. And then then he let you know what it was really about. So he's one of these brainwashed either Dominicans or Puerto Ricans or whatever that New York is just overflowing with.
One of fat
and he can't even speak Spanish, but he identifies as Spaniard. And he doesn't have any place among them because they won't even talk to him. You know how it is up there, brother. They don't talk to the.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't even matter if you're one of the the little mixed Latino kids who can speak Spanish. You're an outsider to them, man. If you're the little Afro Latina, you on the outside, dude. You on the outside. Right. You're not in. They mumble when you're not around, brother. I know the deal. I done seen it.
He's very much on that, man. Really. You know, when you see him in here in New York, all this melting pot bullshit, you know, all that. I hear people on the subways, you know, they like, hey, yeah, we all in this together. We're multicultural. And I'm like, man, you's a live motherfucker. You know, just one time that, you know, people pull out their phones. I had to confront a dude on the train the other day on the 5 train. And basically, this fool talking about everybody's together. The Puerto Ricans love black people. I'm like, they trying to be white, man. You know, they putting white on the application. So, you know, you's a lying motherfucker. And, you know, and I take that personally when somebody say, oh, hell no, don't make me look bad. But guess what? I can't look bad because, you know, I look good every day. And I turned 64 last month, man. And guess what? Still on that motherfucker revolutionary type shit. You know, them old niggas that you talk about, I see them every day. I got family members. So I cut them off, man. I don't want to hear that voting shit, vote for Kamala and all of that. I don't know. I mean, you can't do that. So, yeah, I don't want to take up much more of your time, brother, you know, and I had to call in just for that reason there. And I love the subject, too, brother. Great broadcast.
No, I appreciate it, brother, representing the BX. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. We appreciate that. Yeah, like I say, y'all, this is, and the Bronx is that part of the town. The Bronx, I fool with the Bronx, you know, it's just watch how you drive because it's, the Bronx, you can get caught up, but I got respect for the Bronx. But yeah, a fella like that right there, he couldn't be on the street corner talking like that. Even in the Bronx, he couldn't be on the street corner talking like that. That's why he's sitting there in his damn closet, in his daddy's closet, or wherever the hell he is. Dude, you can't talk like that. He know it. But let that be a reminder. I also want to make that a reminder because I'm looking at Hakeem Jeffries up here. Shout out to all my light-skinned folks. Shout out to all my mixed folks. Shout out to all my Afro-Latinos and Afro-Latinas. But this is why we got to check everybody's paperwork, because all this fence riding and whenever we're around, white supremacy is bad. When we ain't around, it's como se llamo. And okay. No, man, no, that day is over. That day is over. Everybody got to show their paperwork. Everybody got to show their cards. There's a bunch of y'all out here, you documented supporting white supremacy and whatnot. We just got to keep up with that, man. That little fella there, he'll be talking that mess and whatnot, and folks won't even know. Okay, let me go ahead and throw him up here so y'all can see. By the way, whose man is this? Because he'll be on the street talking like he's down with us when he's around us. I'm like, no, let me put this up here. Somebody gonna recognize him. Whose man is this? Whose man is this? I have seen nothing but a nonstop group full of tethers sitting up here stomping for Charlie Kirk of all damn people. I've seen a nonstop damn parade of them. It's embarrassing, or at least it should be. And by the way, I am going to get into some of the lynching situations that's been going on, because there's actually been a few incidents, but I want to be able to do this, in a certain manner. So I am going to be getting into that. There's some more information I would like to have first. So I would like to get some more information first. But do not, don't be deceived. I'm on the case. I'm on the case. And speaking of which here, there are things I wanted to show folk here. It's like, I don't even know how this stuff happens sometimes, man. I don't even know how it happens sometimes. Somebody explain to me, how in the hell does this keep happening? So, like I say, I got, people from not Africa, from the Caribbean. I got them on my friends list on Facebook. And then you see stuff like this. This little fella right here. You see this guy here. You see this little fella right here. Dude got a face like Frogger. And then you see what he talking about. He's been posting all kinds of stuff here. I'm just saying, for those of you, a lot of y'all out here and whatnot, you got your African surnames, you got your Spanish surnames. Hey, man, the era of cooning is over. Just understand that when you come out and do this kind of stuff here, the era of cooning is over, man. It's over. Everybody's getting tapped on here. Your paperwork is being documented. Just understand that. You have to understand where these folks come from. They figure, well, in the end, white supremacy gonna win because, quote, white supremacy always win. That's why they're putting all their chips on the side of, well, it don't matter what happens. Side with the white folks because you know they're gonna win. They're used to getting beaten and defeated where they come from. And they're already showing that they want to make sure, hey, master, I wasn't one of them troublemakers. I wasn't one of them. But I'm like y'all, I've seen a whole bunch of people sitting up here caping for Charlie Kirk from the continent, from the Caribbean, from South America. I know y'all done seen the same thing too. It's a flood of them. Oh man, they are full Django Unchained Steven. It's a whole flood of them. They have been the primary ones sitting up here talking about how great he was. By the way, people who had never mentioned him before that. The crazy thing is, these are a bunch of folks who had never mentioned him before that. Never mentioned him before, but all of a sudden he's wonderful people. Well, he wasn't racist. Y'all are just too sensitive. See, he was correct in what he was saying. Oh, was he correct in what he said about your country too? No, he didn't mean it like that. He didn't mean the way you said it. Okay. What's Gumbo in the chat room talking about? What's Gumbo in the chat room talking about? I like to find out myself. So, whatever Gumbo is referring to, I'd like to get some clarity. See, it's a new day. I started off the program tonight showing you all Black Enterprise and The Advocate and Politico because it's a new day. We used to have to rely on television reporters to find these things out. We can go get this information ourselves, and we give you the perspective on it these other folk ain't giving you. So you get information these other folks haven't given you, and we give you a perspective these other folks are not giving you. So when I sit up here and tell you, by the way, 4-5 members of the Congressional Black Caucus voted to, quote, honor Charlie Kirk, it's like, okay, that means something. That means something. Let me go ahead and jump back over here on Zoom again. Let me see if we can get Robert. Let me see if we can get Robert up here on Zoom. All right, Robert, what's on your mind?
Yeah, TBA, one of our greatest master teachers in the history of our lineage and our anchor man of the new black media. I just wanted to start off by saying that, yeah, hey, TBA, real quick, man, I don't even want to be long. It's just like a flood of coons on my timeline on social media, pouring out all this sympathy for Charlie Kirk. And I mean, I'm one of the few people that I'm noticing that's like not really going back at them, trying to go back and forth because they coons and they clowns. But you know, some of them I know. So I'm like, for real, this how you feel? And you know what I mean? And they like, yeah, man, you know, they running with this narrative. I mean, people just judging them off of clips. I'm like, I'm not judging them off of clips. I've studied this guy somewhat.
We're judging him off of a decade-long track record. And this ain't about one clip. He got a decade-long track record. You're not out of context for a whole damn decade, brother.
100%. Perfectly said, TBA. And I'm like, I'm not judging them off for no couple clips. I'm judging them like you said, and I didn't say it in those words, but basically that's what I was, you know, getting around to. Like, I've been studying this guy for years, and you know, he's a card-carrying white supremacist racist, and at every given chance that he gets, he denigrates our lineage and our race, and you know what I mean. And you guys can't see that. And last thing I'm gonna say, TV.
No, brother, they see it. No. Let me stop you there. They see it, Robert. Yes, they do.
Yes, sir.
Please understand, coons are not blind to racism. They're not.
Real.
I've told y'all this for decades. There are only two types of black people: those who see white supremacy and fight it, and those who see white supremacy and go back to picking the cotton. Candace Owens is not ignorant about racism. How do we know this for a fact? Because when she got her ass canned by Daily Wire, she started trying to tiptoe in that direction. All of a sudden, the woman who had filed a lawsuit about that stuff before, all of a sudden, it starts to exist again. Isn't that interesting? It didn't take years to convince her. All you had to do was pull her benefits, and then next thing you know, why racism exists again. Well, isn't that interesting? So it's the same thing for all of them, brother. They're not blind. They're not ignorant. The ones on your timeline, the ones in your family, the ones on your social media, they're not blind or ignorant. They're telling themselves that, well, they're fantasizing about this mythical cutout for them. They have contempt for you at the base level because what they're showing you is why they're the oddball niggas we didn't fool with in the first place. So they think if they help white supremacy, they're punishing you. That's what they think. I'll help them and they'll punish you. And neither one's going to happen. But what they are showing you is how low their character and their motives are. Now that's what they are showing you. I'll let you have the last word.
Exactly, brother. Well, my last words thank you, man, 1,000,000 times for what you do for your people, man. You are the definition of an American treasure. You know what I mean? When we say stuff like, yo, such and such is an American treasure, sometimes people seem to like think of nostalgic things like George Washington and these type of people. But no, you guys in the new black media are American treasures, man. And you keep doing what you're doing for your people, man. You codifying us by the day, by the week, man. You putting people like myself on code who didn't know a lot of things before I started listening to you great men in the new black media. Peace to you, TVA. Thank you, bro.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to be a coon until they get their benefits pulled. Once the benefits get pulled, they pull a Skip Gates. All of a sudden, racism exists. It didn't exist when you and I were standing there. When they were getting paid, wasn't no racism. As soon as they stop getting paid, as soon as they stop getting their little personal benefits, then all of a sudden, no racism's back. Do not be deceived. They're not fooled. They're just our enemies. They're not stupid or dumb or deceived. They're just our enemies. All right, we got Triple T here on Zoom. Triple T, unmute yourself. Try again. Try a third time. He's still working on it. Triple T, you're still muted.
All right, we're good.
All right, there you go. What's on your mind?
I guess you got the night of the over 6-0 crowd, but it's been a minute. So what I would have to say to get to it real quick, I just want to clarify something about forgive. We look through the scriptures and see that folks who got forgiven also got work. All you got to do is look at David. He got forgiven, but he had to go through some mess for what his mess up brought to him. And so when it comes to where we are right now, I keep telling all my people, everybody around me, we got too much work to do. That work includes never holding back on speaking the truth. It includes doing what you need to do. And I look at people who say they're all faithful. I say, but if your faith don't have no deeds with it, that's dead faith. And so the work might be just telling the truth. It might be having to lay hands on. It could be a lot of things. But you're supposed to be ready in season and out to put that work in. And we're compassionate people. We're spiritual people. And this is a spiritual war as much as it's an economic war, as much as it's any kind of war you could name, because that's the way this Holocaust has been on us, every aspect of our life.
Well, brother, here's the thing. I don't really put a lot of stock in folk running around quoting scriptures because real recognize real. If you are about that life, we're going to see it. I don't even need you to say what you are. If you're a righteous person, I can see righteousness. If you're a just person, I can see that. I don't have to ask what your religion is. I see you living it. I can't deny that. I can't deny that. And if you're not living it, talking about your book is not going to convince me. So you do yourself a whole lot of favor. I'm not looking for a book. I'm looking for actions. After that, then we can dig into where you got it from. But real recognize real.
Absolutely. You see, I'm here on the south side of Chicago. And one saying that we got is we don't be talking about it. We have to be about it. And I'll land on that.
Thank you very much, brother. We appreciate that. Up and down Halstead. Let me go ahead and see if we can get Bomani up here on Zoom. Let me see if we can get Bomani up here on Zoom. All right, Bomani, what's on your mind?
Hey, what's going on, man? I appreciate the broadcast. And I don't know, I got a lot on my mind, man. Right now, I'm really more so in the hypocrisy of America and the way that they are, I don't care about Jimmy Kimmel, but the fact that the conservatives or whatever you want to call them are saying that, they fought so hard for First Amendment rights and Kirk was supposed to be on some First Amendment. I can say what I want to say. And the fact that everybody is silent right now, it's like, so he said something and now y'all silencing him. Are they going to try to silence us next? And, I don't think we're really fearful of silence because we have a loud voice, but it's just like you say, it's a good thing for Trump to be elected because I ain't vote for him, but now it's exposing all the racism and everybody who's a racist and everybody who's a coon is exposing how they go along to get along.
And this is the whole reason I wanted Trump in that White House. When people's backs are against the wall, brother, you know how it is. What city you from?
Augusta, Georgia.
Oh, nigga, you know. When your back is against the wall, folk gonna show you what they about. And it's not gonna take forever for them to show you. When your back is against the wall, they gonna show what they living like. And the issue is up until this point, they haven't been pressed. They had not been pressed for real up until now. And I'm like, man, let's just rip the damn mask off. Everybody gonna get pressed now, and we're gonna see if everybody who gonna stand and who gonna fold. And you saw just immediately. And the Charlie Kirk thing just took it to a whole new level because what they're telling them now is there will be consequences if you don't toe the white supremacist line. And here's the thing, brother. Now, you just lived through this 4 years ago. We just lived through that with the pandemic. with folk telling you what's going to happen with you if you don't toe the line. And the same folk who told you they were stand-up people then and was bending over then, they're back doing it again now. Ain't that amazing? They're back doing it all over again. No pandemic required, no virus required. Real recognize real, character stands up, lack of lay down. I'll let you have the last word.
The last word is, do we have to delineate from African Americans or the hyphenated Americans or foundational Black Americans? Because it's a lot of people that's claiming foundational Black, and then y'all are signing up for, you know, sympathy and empathy for this guy right here. It's like, man, we ain't even signing up for that. Whose side is you on? Really?
Everything is about, are you on code? That's the bottom line. Regardless of where you hail from, what your lineage is, the whole reason for making sure we check folks' paperwork is you can't false flag on it neither. Because even if you come from the lineage, we still checking paperwork. We still, the only issue here is to identify your domestic coons and your immigrant ones. But all we just saying is everybody got to be on code. So don't think you're going to sit up here and tell me you from my lineage and the conversation stops. No, it don't. I need to run that paperwork. I need to run that. Hey, look at these folk over here talking. I need to see that Facebook page right quick. I need to see that. Oh, well, you see, I mean, it's just, you know, I'm God-fearing. Okay, I see what you said, dude. Your paperwork came back dirty. I seen that.
I got one last thing to ask you about, and just also coincidental. The fact that they're trying to make October 14th Charlie Kirk Day, and the fact that George Floyd's birthday is on October 14th. Do you think that
is not coincidental at all? These are a group of wicked, demonic monsters that you are dealing with. These are wicked, demonic monsters. That's just it.
Exactly.
I didn't do my documentary film Race War because it sounded cool. I did it because this is actually the situation we're in. They are involved in a race war on, as Brother Neely Fuller told us, on every level in society. Sexual, social, academic, military, entertainment, you name it. They are involved in a race war, and everything, in the words of Dr. John Henry Clark, everything that moves for war with them. So every move they make is being strategic about, okay, how can we weaponize this? And yes, it matters about George Floyd because I have to keep reminding you all, brother, there's a reason why these people are so obsessively stuck on George Floyd. We ain't even been talking about George Floyd, and these people won't let it go. And the reason, brother, is because that was when they took their biggest L. They took the largest L ever. They keep talking about, quote, George Floyd and BLM. Well, what do they keep talking about when there was an uprising in America that spread around the world? And for the first time ever, their threat of a civil war and their threat of what would happen, and if niggas got too uppity in their cities about what would occur, well, they finally had their opportunity, not for a week, but for going on 2 years. They had their opportunity to demonstrate what it was they would do. And what do you know? The dominator got dominated. Going on 2 years. The whole world saw that they weren't a paper tiger. They were just a paper Dixie cup. And they have not lived it down yet. We showed the world, not only do they not have any fangs, they don't even have any claws, they don't even have any paws. They are smarting from that and soar over it to this day. Because, brother, they can't make a threat no more. We already said, by the way, if you wanted the smoke, you had 2 years to get it. All across this country, there was smoke near you. None of you came for it, so you're not going to lie and act like you're going to jump up today and come for it. This is why they can sit up here and talk about civil war. Ain't nobody over here worried. We know you ain't about that life. You had your chance during George Floyd to show you was about that life. You ain't about it. Brother, you don't, that kind of global humiliation that was shown in front of everybody, that they had their chance to show that, hey, we going to get them up, and Black empowerment versus white supremacy, we saw who won. Brother, they are carrying a vicious grudge about that to this day because they can't lie about how it happened. We hit the streets. Derek Chauvin is locked in prison and ain't coming out. White supremacy took an undeniable L. And they have been trying to figure out, how do we get our get back ever since? And you know the answer. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
They can't.
And the problem they had with Charlie Kirk getting killed is he was the only viable spokesperson that they had, brother. You see, we done had our icons get killed now for a century. And the reason why it was so important to slaughter them was to prevent you from having something you can galvanize. We've seen how badly you can be set back when you lose something like that. He was the only one they had. There isn't anybody in the pipeline. There isn't a replacement. It's over. Now, the truth is, nobody wants to say this, but I'm the only one saying it. Yeah, we saw what they were doing, and it's over. You will not recover from this. You won't.
No.
They had Rush Limbaugh, and that didn't work. Charlie Kirk was the great white hope, and that's gone. You will not
supposed to be the new Rush Limbaugh, huh?
He was supposed to be beyond that. Oh, this is supposed to be like a major figure in society. Brother, it's over. They won't be replacing him. That's done. So what they did with us and our civil rights icons and heroes, now it's happened to them. That's why they're so traumatized, because we're used to that happening to us. It's never happened to them before. Now that it has, they're like, yeah, there's nobody in the wings. See, when you killed Kennedy, you got a vice president. You got somebody to take over. There's nobody to take over from Kirk. Nobody. And we all know what happens here, brother. When the icon is gone, the movement goes into complete disarray. And not slowly. It goes immediately. It crumples immediately. If the reason they can't make it work is because there is no heir apparent. And I told you about this last week. If anybody tries to jump up, it's going to be a power struggle immediately.
Right.
Because white supremacy is going to have a litmus test. It can't be Ben Shapiro, you're Jewish. Well, it can't be Candace Owens, you're black. It can't be
his wife. Because you're a white woman.
Yeah, you're a white woman. So they're going to be all sitting up here fighting. So they would rather that nobody get to take his place than for somebody to do it. Even if they were capable and qualified, which none of those people I just named are. None of them are. So, brother, history has shown us when this happens, the movement crumples. The movement collapses. Exactly. And that's where they are right now. And they're desperately trying to fool you into thinking that there still is one. No, there isn't. It's over. It's done. They just haven't accepted it yet. It's over.
I think they might try to get one of those guys that was on one of those January 6th guys to try to promote him to try to push the movement. Like what's the guy that got out of jail? The Mexican guy, Puerto Rican or whatever he was that was in charge of Proud Boys that got locked up but then got pardoned by Trump.
Terrio, Enrique Terrio. I think his name is.
Enrique something, but they might try to get somebody like him who's mixed race, who's Hispanic or something to try to put it up there.
Here's the issue: nothing will work because the problem is that it would have to be organic. You can't. Charlie Kirk was very astroturfed. But the whole thing was to get him to look organic and to give him, it's like putting out an album. They gave him a whole decade to get something resembling credibility behind him. So it took a decade for that to catch on. You can't make that happen overnight, brother. You can't. So here's the problem. Even if you want to embark on that again, it'll take you another decade to cultivate another one. You even if you could pull it off, let's just say they can, okay, but it's going to be a decade before they get that pump primed.
Right.
And that was never the plan. He represented a huge investment, and now the investment is completely collapsed with nothing to replace it. It's over. It's over.
Exactly.
Thank you very much for calling. We appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, there's the real issue why they are so traumatized about it. They recognize it's over. This is not like politicians where you have to drink the swill and whoever steps up, you just have to take it. No, you have to be chosen for this. In the chat room, it was already chaos. What do you think is happening out here? It's already chaos. The problem is it wasn't chaos for them. They've never been so uncertain before. A lot of uncertainty now. Okay, we got Cheryl here on Zoom. Cheryl, I don't see anybody here, so baby, go ahead and flip a light on for me or something. If you're going to do your OnlyFans, send me an email or whatever if you're going to do a striptease, but not during the program. So I can give you another 5 seconds. Go ahead and get that on for me here, or I got to keep it moving. Cheryl, I can give you another 3 seconds here, or I got to keep it moving. Cheryl, I can give you another second here, and then I got to keep it moving. All right, y'all. Cheryl is capitulating over whether or not she wants to do a strip tease. She got the lights all out. She's trying to figure out what outfit she wants to put on. That G-string slingshot that she loves to wear. She's trying to, she's a little bit shy about it, but she's like, look, it's now or never. It's Saturday night. Let me see if Jason is buying what I'm selling. So it's no, baby, I'm not buying tonight. I'm taking calls. That's all I'm doing. All I'm doing tonight is taking calls. I'm not taking nothing else. Yeah, I mean, if we're just going to put these things in brutally frank terms, Charlie Kirk represented a decade-long investment with tens of millions of dollars put into it to basically create a pop star of politics or political, of social issues. He was supposed to be a pop star of that. The Justin Bieber of white supremacist political social talk. That's what he was supposed to be. And the bottom line is that represents and constitutes a huge investment, not just in money, but in time, in connections. You got to get a bunch of other folk on board. He's got to be viable. They put a social media machine together to go sit up here and pretend he's got some clout for it. So that was a very major investment. That wasn't small. That was a huge investment that he constitutes. And you will not be able to replace that. Notice I didn't say not replace it easily. You're not going to replace that. Even though he was very hollow and very shallow and wasn't very much to him, you won't be able to replace it. They're hurting over it right now because they realize, they see what we went through with that. It's like, you can't just dream up another one of those. It takes time. It takes effort. It takes resources. It takes connections. And these things take place over the course of years. Over the course of a decade. That's a 10-year stretch, man. You can't just dream it up out of nowhere. And if something comes along and it just gets snuffed out, you're starting from zero again. You're not starting from the 50-yard line. You've been put all the way back into the end zone on the other end of the field, and you're going to have to fight your way to get back across it. You're starting over from zero, which is exactly what they did when they were killing our heroes, to make us start over from zero. And what they realize is that, there's no good options here, man. So yes, they're very, very upset right now because there's nothing to it. There's nothing to it. They're mad about that because they realize that that's not going to work. That stuff is not going to work anymore. So just remember, I'm the guy who told you all. I'm the guy who told you all what that is. So just expect that going forward. Just expect that going forward. But when you see your Democrats joining with them, just recognize they're letting us all know whose side they're really on. Now, here's why this is disastrous for Charlie Kirk's supporters out there in the Democrat Party. Charlie Kirk supporters in the Democrat Party are upset because we're paying attention and watching. They were hoping that no one was paying attention, but we were. And we're not waiting for MSNBC or somebody else to have this conversation. We're going to be having this conversation ourselves. Not controlled by any party, not controlled by any media figure, not controlled by any corporation. We saw what you did. We saw what you did. Congressman Meeks, Congressman Scott, Congressman Davis. We saw that. We saw that. And we are going to be paying attention going forward. We will be paying attention going forward. They were hoping that nobody was looking, and as I showed you all, the publications were not ratting them out either. The publications were not ratting them out. The publications were running interference. The publications were refusing to name names. So before tonight, you all didn't even know. I know there were some of you who follow me and you saw that Hakeem Jeffries had voted for it. But most of you did not know the rest of the list. He wasn't the only one. And these will be the same bootlicking niggas who will come slithering back to us later and trying to tell us what they've done for us. But when we talk to them, we'll be reminding them what they did to us. So I don't know what it was exactly that the Republicans promised these bootlicking coons. I do know that whatever it is, it won't be worth it. Kamala Harris found out the hard way our memories are long. Kamala Harris found out the hard way our memories are long. And this is a subject that will be coming up again. But we're so glad that you all are now officially on the record. So glad for that. Now that you've cleared up any confusion or ambiguity for the future. So glad that you're on the record now. And we won't be letting this go. And if you do, anybody else who does anything similarly, by the way, we won't be surprised by you either. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. I want to thank everyone who has contributed for tonight's program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo. Shout out here to my girl, Sandra. Thank you very much for your support, Sandra. I appreciate that here. My man, Bayou Billy. He's dropping some money for the tinfoil hat for the caller from the Bronx. Dude, he doesn't need tinfoil. That nigga needs just tin. He needs aluminum. He needs a titanium bucket around his damn head. My brother Tom Slick, thank you very much for your support tonight here. Quentin Sowell, Rogers, Freeman's Network, and everybody else here involved. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the Haven of Intelligent Black Thought. We do this every holiday weekend, some days in between. Click that red subscribe button, click that yellow notification bell. Join us each and every time that we're here. If you haven't been to blackchannelfilms.com, check out our groundbreaking best-selling documentary work, blackchannelfilms.com. That is blackchannelfilms.com. Man, I'm surprised we didn't have the signal drop out here tonight. So at least that part went okay. At least that part went okay. I want to thank all of you for tuning in to tonight's program live or recorded. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the anchor man of the new black media, the Black Authority. And until next time, to all of my brothers and all of my sisters from around the world, remember that black is the future and the future is uncompromising.